Why am I typing? I could just talk. If you don't vote today, then you don't get to vote. Funky. Ah! $40. Okay. Uh, this, we definitely need that. And then yeah. What's going on? Welcome back to Order 42. I'm Rob, and it's been a while. Feels like it's been like a really, really long time. I mean, we had Leon on for 2 weeks, then a break. So it feels like it's been a while since I've done just a regular stream. So it's good to be here, and it's good to see you guys. We had Ninjinzu games coming in hot, like when I first posted it. I'm not sure when that came in, and then of course Cosma. Now, again, I just want to say, I'm still getting over this cold sinus, whatever the heck it is. I might have to mute and or run in there and blow my nose. I don't know. Right now I'm feeling okay, but I'm still like, oh, I've got the teddy bear head, the big, just like I feel like I've been wanting to sleep all day, but hey, nothing scary or anything like that. It's just a stupid thing. But it's good to be here. It's good to be doing this. Now, let me, as you can see, the poll is up for which flavor is going to go in this bad boy, because this is going with me to Really Rad Weekend in Florida. So you guys are going to help me choose which one of these to do. Now, I'll just say this. I've tried the original and the original flavor, which is amazing, like really, really good, like seriously good. But we've got apple. It's actually called Psycho Kriller. So it's kind of like those they're almost like cake donuts in a way. But anyway, we've got apple, we've got lemon, and we've got raspberry. Now again, I bought all three. I want to try all three. So I'm not really pulling for a specific flavor, but make sure you vote, because if you don't vote today, then you don't get to vote. Funky. And if you want to know what that's from Grim Green. Grim Green is like my favorite vape guy. I love this guy. And if you want to know, like, if you want to see sort of like the beginning of how I look at, I guess it's not vlogging, but a live stream, he's one of my favorites. So if you're a vapor, You ought to check out Grim Green. His videos are amazing. He's actually streaming over on Twitch, and he's great. Grim, as in Grimm Green. Just saying. But if you don't vote today, then you don't get to vote funky. So right now we've got 60% raspberry donut, 80 or 20% apple, 20% lemon. Now I'll say this. I'm just going to say this. Apple is the one that has been continually sold out on a lot of different websites. For whatever reason, Apple is the one that, I don't know, Apple's the one. So, I mean, I don't want to influence the votes. I'm just saying, Apple is the one that continually gets, is sold out and stuff. So, just saying. But welcome, Bucho. Bucho. Oh, damn Bucho. But it's good to see Bucho, Carbonite, that crazy Greek. Welcome, guys. I appreciate it. Now, I voted twice today. Sup, Robin chat, Carbonite. Vote. Voted. You voted for yourself. Hey, the thing is, look, voting is our right as Americans. So, yeah, I won't say anything other than, I mean, okay. I mean, it would be nice if there were clear lines, at least for me, but it's not always the same. And Wraith and Bob, my dad is here. Welcome, Dad. Good to see you. Eagle and Vicky are monitoring. Good to see you guys. Harvey Dent, huh? You voted for no politics, Bucho. Hashtag no politics. Hashtag I don't really care. Hashtag they're all liars. Anyway, let's move on. How are you guys doing? Like I said, it's been a rough couple of weeks. Just because we had we had Leon here, we had Dave here for that short amount of time, which was amazing. Having Dave here was really, really cool. And then of course Leon was staying for 2 weeks, and Leon was gonna fly out this was last Wednesday. He got sick on Sunday or Saturday actually. And yeah, he had it rough. So he was like, I'm not doing anything on Sunday. And then Sunday night I got sick, and it wasn't a different kind of sick. His was the stomach problems. Mine was the cold and stuff. But yeah, you voted for Wraith to vote for Harvey Dent. All right, Bucho. No, as far as I know, he wasn't sick when he went home, but he was like, there's something either in the water. I don't know what was going on, but he just got really sick and was like, it's like, I don't want to leave because I don't want to be without a bathroom, So, hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. But anyway, yeah. And really for me, I don't think Knights of Old is here, but I tried watching Babylon Berlin, which is as far as I know, a German series. Season 4 started, I think, last Friday, and I'd never watched any of it. So I started watching it, and I couldn't concentrate because, of course I have to read subtitles. So I was just like, I gotta get into this in a different mindset. Okay. Because like, I can't concentrate. I couldn't do any reading or anything like that. Oh, I didn't even get into that. I finished, cause I haven't said anything. What did I finish? Oh, The Republic of Thieves, The Gentleman Bastards. I finished that book on Halloween actually, and I really liked it. It's not quite, to me, it's not quite as good as the previous two. But then the book 4 of The Gentleman Bastards is coming out in February, I believe, after a very, very long layoff. I think he finished Republic of Thieves in like 2013. So we've been waiting a long time, or the fans of Gentleman Bastards have been waiting a long time. Yeah. So that's coming. That's coming. So now I'm reading The Lays of Beleriand, which is right here, but I have the digital version. I bought the digital version because, man, the text, the font is so small, it's hard to read. So, yeah. Um, yeah, maybe Texas food was definitely too much for Leon. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. Now, I was worried because I was like, man, I don't want to get sick too. But neither me, Rufus, or Rufus's girlfriend didn't get sick. And we went to, and I think this is how I got sick because we went to a place called Loco Coyote and had some amazing burgers and whatnot. They had brisket nachos, which was kind of awesome. Um, but I think when we left there, he was already like, dude, something's going on. So we had to stop for him. And then we went to Cidercade. Now I'll just say this about Cidercade. Cidercade it's an arcade, and they serve their own ciders, and they make their own, or I guess it's not, they don't make their own, but they have uh not branded soft drinks and things like that. I'll tell you this. Um Jay needs to up his game. I don't know if Jay's been to Cidercade. I'm gonna talk with him about it this weekend. But it's like, dude, Cidercade was awesome. I mean, it was really, really cool. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Jay brings to the table, because man, Cidercade was like, it was a good time. We had a really good time. But I'm also thinking maybe that's where I got sick, because I played some video games and there were a lot of people there. So that's possible that's where I got sick. So that was on Saturday. And again, we didn't do anything on Sunday. I got sick Sunday night. So then Monday, Tuesday, his last few days in Texas, we didn't hang out at all. I didn't do anything. I started really getting sick on Monday, and then I was out for the count. Man, I was like, man, just that, like I said, that pressure, that sinus pressure and all that kind of stuff. Ugh. But I got to watch a lot of movies. I've been making my way through the Shaw Brothers, the Shaw Scope box set. I watched Once Upon a Time in China, which is a different box set, Criterion box set. So yeah, I voted for Bucho, that voted for Wraith, that voted for Harvey Dent, which Harvey voted for Rob's Vape Player. There you go. And again, if you don't vote today, then you don't get to vote. Funky. Apple donut, lemon donut, raspberry donut. Make sure you get your vote in, because that would suck if you weren't able to vote. On the vaping thing. All the other stuff, that's a different story. But and Zucky is here. I remembered this time. I said it wrong, but then I corrected myself. Welcome. Good to see you. Let's see. What should we start with? Gosh, I'll tell you. These last 2 weeks there's been a lot of news. I redeemed myself. Thank you. And you're still thinking about Twisted Root, Wraith? Man, Twisted Root is some good stuff. I don't know if you got to have the one, if you went to the same one in that area. But we got to have, we went to that one. Well, I'm sure you did. You probably went to that one. Did you get to try the banana root beer? Yeah, the one by Free Play. Did you try the banana root beer? Because, oh my God, the banana root beer was, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. You didn't? Oh. So the whole thing with Twisted Root is they actually make their own soft drink flavors. They have their own ketchups. They have their own barbecue sauces. It's insane. Gonna go. My connection sucks. Take care, y'all. Greek, it's good to see you, and I hope you're doing well, sir. You do whatever you need to do, man. You had their homemade lemonade and some of their cherry drink. Well, I tried a little bit of everything, but the banana root beer was like, dude, insanely good. Like, I can't believe how good it is. See, I think my throat's already starting to dry out. Gonna have to hydrate. We don't have the hydrate bear on here anymore, do we? Do we have the hydrate bear? No, we don't. No, we don't. We got to have the hydrate bear back. But yeah, it so good. And I'll tell you, the Loco Coyote, that's kind of actually hard to say. That was amazing too. That was like really good. Their burger was seriously like, you kind of had to eat it in sections. You couldn't flatten it enough to get like just a bite out of it. You had to like, I can't like unhinge my jaw. But man, are their drinks seasonal or available year long? I think what they do is they switch them out from time to time, and then I think different locations have different ones from time to time. So Twisted Root is Loco, like a crazy coyote, Loco Coyote. Good stuff, and it was I guess it was in Glen Rose. It took a while to get there. I'll say that, because what happened is I drove to Billy's, and then Rufus and his girlfriend picked up Leon and I, and then we drove the however long it took to get to Glen Rose. Took a while. It was good stuff. John, what's up, man? My notification said pick my flavor. Sounds awfully salacious to me. Well, I'll tell you, you gotta look. If you don't vote today, then you don't get to vote funky. John, I don't know if you do any of the vaping anymore, but if you do or don't, you'll probably enjoy Grim Green. I'm just telling you. And the reason I'm pushing Grim Green, you might be saying, Rob, why are you pushing this guy? It's because, again, I think of pretty much anybody that I watch, I've probably stolen or borrowed more from Grim Green than anyone. In the way that he sets things up and the way that he presents things, I just think he's one of my favorite streamers. But he also does vape reviews. So yeah, I would check him out. If you're interested. GRIMM Green, the color green, like green. Oh, that's yellow. I picked the wrong one. Green. The color green. Anyway. Again, I'm just we're gonna let that poll run for a while, because it's getting kind of close. It's tied right now. Apple donut and raspberry donut are tied 44%, and lemon is in last place with 11%. Now I'll just say this. Again, I'm not pulling. I bought them all. I'm going to vape them all eventually, but the apple donut is the one that, for whatever reason, continues to sell out. So. Just saying. It may be the best one or everyone's favorites. I don't know. And Oscar, welcome, Oscar. Good to see you, sir. But yeah, let's see what else has been going on. Oh, I watched this. I watched Bullet Train. It was fine. It was good. It was good. It's one of those where I don't know if I'd want to review it, just simply because I'd be like, yeah, it was fine. So, apple is always the best flavor, especially in shisha. Shisha. I'm not sure what that is. And Rufus the Red. Welcome, Rufus. And hey, just saying, if you don't vote today on which flavor, you don't get to vote. Funky. Bullet Train was a good one-time watch. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. I almost wish I just rented it first before buying it, but April was really, really interested in it. Of course, I was interested in it, and Leon went on and on about how good it was. So we just bought it, and I'm not going to say that I don't, like, I regret buying it. I just was kind of like, oh, okay. It was good. It was fun. But it was also a lot different than what I'd expected. It was more like a Guy Ritchie film than what I'd expected. So, there you go. Y'all don't have shisha over there, maybe known as hookah. Yes. Yes, Zaki, yes. Where you smoke with a long pipe with coal and different flavors. Yes, I have. I've never done it, but there are definitely hookah bars, like all over. I mean, they're all. I wouldn't say they're as plentiful as the vape slash CBD shops around, but yeah, they're definitely around. So, dude, you know I'm a huge fan of Andor. I'm guessing that's Andor, not Indoor. Amber and I just watched Rogue One for the first time. It was interesting to watch the series first and then go back and watch the movie for the first time. Yeah, I actually, because I was sick, didn't do a review on episode 9, which episode 9 was awesome. So, in fact, tonight, in about 7 hours, they're dropping episode 10 of Andor. I will not be watching it until tomorrow morning because I've got to get up early and go to the dermatologist because of skin cancer. I don't have skin cancer, at least that I know of. But one of the, I guess the side effects of my medication is that it can cause skin cancer. So I have to basically stay out of the sun for as much as possible, which I have been. But my doctor says you need to regularly go and be checked and all that stuff. So I've got to do that in the morning. Then I'm going to watch episode 10. And then I'm going to do a dual review of 9 and 10 tomorrow. So that is coming. But it's just part of the deal. It's part of having Crohn's. I don't recommend it. But that's the side effect of my stuff. But yeah, I'm excited though about Andor for sure. For sure. Let's see. If you like vaping, you will love the hookah. I'm sure I would. Yeah, Rafe. Yeah, it's just part of the deal. I have to stay out of the sun as much as possible, which is why in a lot of, if you see me outside, if there's videos of me outside, typically I've got the hood up because I'm wearing, my, sun protective jacket with the hood up. And which makes it really fun in the summertime in Texas. It's not fun. I'll just say that. It's not fun. So, the sun is overrated. Well, I mean, yeah. But it is one of those things where it's like, especially like when it's hot and I want to wear shorts. I can't wear shorts. I got to wear freaking jeans and stuff. So, it's just a thing. But yeah. It's good to, I'll tell you this. The last couple of months has been ridiculous. I'm not going to sit there. Oh, you got to go? Oh, got to go, vampire. Gotcha. I thought you meant you got to go. Yeah, I do kind of have to do the vampire thing. Now, the thing is I'm more of a night owl anyway, for the most part. But yeah, it's just a thing that I got to deal with. But it's, hey, I'm alive and I feel good. I mean, my Crohn's is under control. So, it's one of those things, you just kind of have to deal with it. Sounds like I need a nice broad sombrero. Don't think I haven't thought about it. In fact, I like wearing hats, especially in the wintertime, but like I've got my, 9 Inch Nails Add Violence beanie. I've got my Game Chasers crew. This was one of the crew gifts for working on the movie. I've got that. And I've got, of course, my British driving hat. I don't know. But I can't wear them right now because the long hair, it looks silly. I'm not a hat. And I'm not a big baseball hat kind of guy. I've just never been that guy. So yeah, a big, nice sombrero would be awesome. But people would probably think that I'm being racist or something. I don't know. So I'm just not going to do that. Even though it might actually be really helpful. In fact, at one point I bought it's a lightweight summer hat that almost looks like an Indiana Jones hat. And I put it on and I'm like, I look like a goofball. But it did help when we went out to an air show one time. It was like, I don't care what I look like. I just want to enjoy the air show and not have to worry about it. It still sucked. But anyway, still hot. And yeah, Texas summer sucks. I mean, here I think it got up to like 104 here, 105, which is, man, that's hot. That's hot. I don't care who you are. That's hot. But vitamin D is nice, but have you ever had somebody care about you? Me neither. I'm not. What? I find it funny that you took the time to do a review on that abortion that Netflix put out called Blockbuster. As a previous employee myself, it was almost painful. Made it to episode 3. Well, John, there's a very important reason why I watched Blockbuster. And if you just give me just a few minutes to catch up, I'll tell you why. Flat cap. Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of that look. I mean, when I had my head shaved, I would wear that my driving hat, which I bought from where did I buy this? Oh, I bought it in somewhere in New England. I can't remember where. I think maybe Connecticut. Um, but it's an actual uh Irish hat, and I love it. And I love the pattern, the blue and the black. I love this hat, and I want to wear it. It looks silly. You know, if I put this on now, it would look silly. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It just doesn't look good. You wear broad brimmed straw hats a ton, especially at work, being a construction type fella. And being in New Zealand where the sun is extra harsh and we have high skin cancer rates. I mean, look, it's no joke. It is no joke. Now, I don't think that skin cancer, there's many cancers in my family. Skin cancer is not one of them. But again, I'm taking a medication that makes it more likely. Like it's for whatever reason, it just makes it more likely. So I have been trying to do my best to, stay protected. Now I'm worried about, there's some marks on my arms. Cause there's been times when I've got especially when I'm driving, the sun's hitting my arms. I'm more worried about that than anything. But hey, it's a thing. It's a thing. Wraith. Of course Wraith is here, but Star Fox is here as well. Welcome. All right, just woke up to smoke and pee, got a nap before work. Later's Oscar. Good to see you, sir. And have a good day at work. When you have to do that thing. So yeah. A fedora like Freddy Krueger. That's a flat cap. Oh, okay. And yeah, so yeah, Ricky, I don't know if you heard. I don't know how long you've been here. But yeah, these are the flavors that are up for the vote. You got apple donut. You got, it's actually called Psycho Cruller is the name of the whatever. You got the lemon and you got the raspberry. I've tried the original non-flavored. It's just donut flavor. Psycho Cruller is what it's called. Awesome. Amazing. And for whatever reason, like I said, I'm not pulling for any of them. I want to try them all. But the apple is the one that's always sold out. So there you go. And get out of here with your stuff here. Let's see. Remove. Can I not? There we go. Get out of here with your all tastes and ages. That's what happens sometimes, Let's see. I'm going to report, and we're just gonna report that person. And so that should be gone now. Let's see. Where did I leave off here? 7 likes. Let's go. Look, here's the thing. There's a part of me that I kind of understand why, like Billy and Jay, they do their live stream, and then if you weren't watching it, you can't see it again. Now, the way that I do it is I actually send out a link, which means that anybody that has the link can see it. And then it just goes public on my channel. There's a part of me that wants to just unlist everyone, because it's almost like I want the people here to feel like, hey, you got to see a special thing, a different thing, you know? But at the same time, you know. So the likes, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. You love driving caps. I used to have one made by Guinness. I also love the sun, but got to cover this bald head. Nothing's more attractive than liver spots and melanoma. Yes, for sure. Magnus, welcome. Good to see you. Cycling arm sun sleeves are a good choice. They are definitely a common thing I see people wearing quite often where I'm at. Also, first time comment and just subbed the other day. Thanks, Carlo. Welcome. And yes, you have been extremely kind. It just makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to know that you know, maybe I'm making a little bit of a difference, you know, and having a little bit of an impact. It's really, really cool. I appreciate that. So thank you. And Rich, welcome, Rich. Good to see you guys. There's a vote, man. Which flavor are we going to put in my tank for the trip to Really Rad Weekend? You got to vote. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Apple's winning right now. I enlist my daily video, but I keep my lives up. Yeah, see, I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep them going until, you know, like if Leon's here and he says something he's not supposed to, you know, like he did the first week. So I just got done watching the first season of Westworld. It was too violent and gratuitous. I enjoyed the game Detroit Become Human more. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first season of Westworld and liked season 2 and tapped out in the middle of season 3. I didn't care. I didn't care anymore. Is weird. And it's a shame because they did finally say, nope, that's it. No more Westworld. But hey, after season 4, that's it. So yeah. Jays gets auto taken down for copyright. Right. But here's the thing though, if you go to your, and in Jinzu games, welcome. If you go to your library or your history, you'll still be able to click on it and you can still watch it. That's just how it works. At least it's there for me. So, but yeah, it does get auto taken down a lot. Carbonite for sure. Let's see. Team Raspberry. Okay. How are we doing here? We got Apple winning 54%, Raspberry at 38%, Lemon at 8%. Hey, that's the thing. And John, got to be back. Be back later. Got to chat with kids. You do your thing, John. You do your thing. And of course, I mean, even if you don't make it back, hey, you'll still be able to watch the replay. There you go. And yeah, I am feeling better. Ninjinzu, I am feeling a lot better. I'm still, like I said, a little foggy, but hey, that's the thing. And Rich asks, who is going to Rad Weekend? Well, let's talk about Really Rad Weekend, okay? Because here's the deal. The plan is, right now, is that I'm driving to Jay's on Thursday. Jay and I will go to pick up Billy, and we will drive to Florida. So it's going to be a crazy thing. I mean, of course, we've done this before. We're going to be talking a lot about the Blockbuster. Crap, I didn't talk about Blockbuster. But we'll get to that. Yeah. It's going to be a thing. Now look at this. The guests. There's some people I'm just not going to know. Okay. We've got Nintendo. Never met him, but I hope to meet him. It should be good. Focusing on rad reviews, how-tos, and great deep dives on the history of gaming. Cool. John Riggs, of course. John Riggs is just one of the nicest guys I've met since we started the movie. He's like, man, why wasn't he in the movie? He'd be great. But yeah, I love hanging out with John Riggs. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, you know these guys. I mean, most of you probably know these guys. And I will be there with them. There is a chance that, in fact, I'm not even going to say that. There's a chance that it'll just be me and Jay. But hopefully we'll all get to go. And then we've got Riff Stapish. Pixel Game Squad, I've met him once. Nice enough guy. I just don't know a whole lot about him. Phoenix Resale, I don't think I've ever met. So, yeah, we'll get to meet him. Extra Napkins. I haven't met them. Jeffrey Wittenhagen and Frank Wood. Haven't met them. Of course, Yoshi Vu is going to be there. And if you remember, Yoshi signed my Mandalorian Boba Fett because he worked on, if you can see this, season 1, episode 4. He worked on the Mandalorian. Of course, he worked on the Rise of Skywalker, amongst many other things. The Walking Dead, an upcoming cartoon series on Amazon. Looking forward to that. Yoshi. But yeah, Yoshi's awesome. Of course, he worked on the Game Chasers movie, Adventures in Game Chasing. Be good to see him again. Blue Knight cosplay, have not met. Little Red Fox cosplay, have not met. Yup Cat, have not met. And that's all that's listed. But look, it's going to be a good time. I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, Fort Walton Beach. It's supposed to be very cool. So it being on the beach is probably going to be a little wasted, but hey, that's the way it goes. Team Apple. Did I vote in the midterms? I voted straight Democrat for my ballot in PA. Magnus, I did not, but my wife did. So, apple isn't the best fruit, but with donut, it is. I don't know, man. I'm a big Apple fan. Especially, I like Braeburns, and I like Honeycrisp. Man, you get a good Honeycrisp. Oof, it's good stuff. I do like bananas, though, too. A lot. Don't you hate those customers who come in right before you close and get upset at you because there isn't enough time to fix their phone? Me too. Well, you know, that's the way it works, right? Team Crapple. A lot of old people use Apple. It's easier for them. I mean, I'm just saying. We're streaming on an iMac, so I love Apple. I've been a big fan of Apple since 2005 when I bought my first iPod. It was great. Then I bought my first MacBook, or it was a PowerBook back then. Anyway, yeah, I'm a fan. What can I say? Ian from Extra Napkins is Pat the NES Punk partner on the podcast. Oh, I didn't realize that. I did not realize that. Well, I have met him, and he is amazing. He is an amazing guy. Oh, I didn't recognize him. Yes, you're right. You're right. That is Ian. Yeah, Ian's awesome. Ian, we had so much fun in SoCal. It was, I had a great time. I had a great time listening to some of his stories. Great stuff. So yeah, you're going, you'll see that. Rich. Great. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited. Hey, and Ricky, look, I'm old. What can I say? But it's not really that I'm old. It's just that I prefer Apple to Android. I prefer using my phone, not fiddling with it. Anyway, I was hoping you'd react. I want to get a new iPad Pro so I can draw with Procreate. Oh man, look. I know that there's that whole thing, right, with Apple versus Android, Windows versus or Windows PC versus Mac and all that kind of stuff. Look, it really is all about just what works for you, you know? For me, I prefer that everything in my house talks to each other. Now, the only reason that I don't like Apple right now is that using all the HomeKit stuff for like automation, it's just a little more of a pain in the butt. Okay, it just is. But yeah, it's good. I do like it. I love the fact that I've been able to rip all of my Blu-rays, put them on my hard drive, and then I can watch them in watch them on my TV in there without any setup. It's just there. So when I upgraded my my computer, all I did was sign in and it was all there and it just works. I love it. But hey, it's just a thing. Rob, you ain't old. If you're old, then I'm cool. I mean, look, I'm getting up there. Okay? I'm getting up there. 46? It's getting pretty old, you know? But hey, that's just the thing. It's no big deal. I prefer Android. I just team Apple for the VAP vote. VAP vote. Oh, team Apple for the vape vote. Gotcha. An experienced youth. Well, I mean, I'm an Android guy, but none of their drawing apps compare to Procreate on iOS. It's just so good. It really is. Procreate is amazing. You know, you get that Apple Pencil, and man, you can go to town on that thing. It's amazing. But hey, I prefer using my Apple products without it breaking down. I thought you were like 40. Yeah, I'm 46. But you got to think though. Part of the reason why I look as young as I am is part of it is because of, genes, of course, but there were 3 years when I didn't leave the house. I lost like 3 years, being stuck at home, being on IV. So it's a weird thing. But hey, it's all good. We're here now. We're doing the thing. So the reason that why I brought up Blockbuster, or where John was talking about Blockbuster earlier, now he's not here to hear this, but the reason that I watched that show through to completion is for a very important reason. Not just because I worked there. But those of you who have been paying attention, maybe to Jay, when it comes to some of the different appearances that we've had. In fact, I think he said it multiple times on his stream. We are developing a story for a possible next movie, and it has to do with a video store. So the whole thing is I'm writing this script, and there are things that I wanted to make sure that weren't the same. I will say this. There are moments in that show where I'm like, dude, are they bugging my phone or my computer or something? There were things where I'm like, okay, that was really like out of left field that I pulled this thing up, or this idea from. And then they did it. So there's things that I'm going to have to adjust. I will say this though. I think just as far as I'm into it, which I'm not even close to being done, I feel like my story's better. And I feel like the more we develop it, I think it's going to be better. But hopefully you guys remember that I have talked about this before, that, we didn't come up with the idea after they did. We came up with the idea, God, when we were still working on, like, over a year ago, we were talking about it and developing this idea. So it's just a bummer, and it happens. I mean, 8-Bit Christmas was the same thing, right? Where it came out a few months before Adventures in Game Chasing did, and people were like, did you guys copy this? And I'm like, no. The movie was made 3 years ago. It happens, I mean, Deep Impact Armageddon, what is it? Volcano Dante's Peak. It happens a lot. Two different people come up with very similar ideas. So we'll see how it goes. And it'll probably be a while before we even get close to, getting it financed and all that stuff, and then getting the thing made, all that stuff. But that is why I watched the entire thing. And then by the end of it, it was like, okay, I got to talk about this. I have to review it. So I did review it. You're still 12 years younger than Keanu Reeves and Brad Pitt. You ain't even in your prime yet. Bucho, thank you for saying that. It makes me feel good. But yes, there are days when I feel it, and there are days when I'm like, dude, I don't feel 46. It's crazy. Would I manage a Blockbuster again? I'll tell you this. If Blockbuster was still around, I'd consider it. I would consider working there. Part-time probably, of course, but yeah, I would consider it. Why not? It was my favorite job I've ever had, period. And the thing is, even when I went to other stores, because we worked at the one that was in Grand Prairie. Jay, Billy, and I worked at that one in Rufus. We all worked there. John too. John was there. Um, I quit there, went to Sprint for a while, and then when I was working at Sprint, I went back to Blockbuster and worked part time, and then I worked full time. Went back to Blockbuster full time for a while, and then quit again, and then went back part time. I worked there a total of like 7 years, 8 years. I loved that job. It was so much fun, and talking to people about movies. I mean, I love it. I love doing it. So yeah, I would do it. So you admit that they got a bunch of things right. Interesting. I wouldn't say that. I would say that there are elements that Blockbuster had in it that, like, you could think of like the germ of the idea, right? That germ, or the seed of the idea. And the fact is, theirs blossomed one way, ours is blossoming another. So even though there are some elements that might be similar, they're still going to be very different in the way that things happen. So there are going to be things that I'm going to change, and there are other things where I'm thinking, no, we'll do it better. We'll do it better, and it won't be. The fact is, honestly, I don't think anybody's going to remember that Blockbuster show, which is a shame. That's why I kept saying, that's why my title of the video was that it was a wasted opportunity. It was completely wasted. Like, why even make it about Blockbuster? You didn't even focus on it. You know, it was almost, and it almost seemed like it was like, oh God, we got to keep talking about this Blockbuster thing instead of talking about somebody's relationships. It's like, why? Why even make it about Blockbuster if that's what you wanted to do? So anyway, am I doing like a Blockbuster in the 90s using your personal experiences? Personal experiences, yes. Blockbuster, no. So it's not a Blockbuster. But there are ideas that are, again, it's hard to explain without really getting into it. And I can't do that yet because there's no telling where this thing is actually going to go, and no telling. I mean, gosh, we might get in the car on the way to Florida and we just say, you know what, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth the hassle. I'm just saying that we've been using, we've come up with a lot of ideas, and it's really just, now it's like we could just write the thing. But we'll see. We'll see. Not Gary, welcome. Welcome. But the thing is, look, it doesn't matter. I was really, I'll say this. When I saw the trailer, I was very worried because I was like, oh crap. Have they basically just stolen the entire idea? No. Their show is very different than, and feels very different than what the ideas that we've come up with. I do hate Blockbuster, the show. Don't hate Blockbuster Video, which is a weird thing to say because a lot of people were like, it's kind of ironic because Blockbuster was kind of a predatory company. I mean, let's call it what it is. I can't deny that Blockbuster was taken over. You know, if you had a mom and pop in your city, most mom and pop video stores were swallowed up by Blockbuster. You know, just the same way that Walmart has pushed out a lot of local grocery stores. It's just a thing that happens when you get a major corporation coming in. It's just what happens. It's business. I don't agree with it, but hey, I watched the Blockbuster review last night, then tried watching the show. I made it about 4 minutes in, was like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. If I ever use clips of any of you talking about my people, talking about me, people just think you were talking about Rufus and I stole it. No. Sorry, Rufus the Red. Maybe, should I say the whole name? I will. But it just didn't look good. See, that's the thing. I saw potential in what they were trying to do, which is part of the reason why I kept watching it. Of course, the main reason was because I want to make sure that my like my whole like my script couldn't be looked at as we stole that from that show. That's the main thing. I did not want any of that. I want people to, when they read my script or when they see the eventual movie, hopefully, I mean, never know. The thing is, I might get through this entire script and we polish it and we can't get it financed. That's just the way the movies go. How many scripts sit on the shelf for years and years and years and don't get made? There's so many different ways this could go, but I don't want people thinking, oh, that I got this from here. Now, there are references to certain movies. There's I'll say this, the opening of our movie is a direct, I would say it's inspired by one of my favorite movies. The whole opening. And I think it's great. But yeah, I don't know. I like that video, Rob, though you talked me out of watching it. Look, I'm just going to say this. If you don't have a specific reason to watch it, like, oh, like if you were a big fan of Randall Park and you love watching Randall Park, I can't fault you for wanting to watch it. If you worked at Blockbuster and want to see how this show is, I can't fault you for at least giving it a try. But I'm talking about for most people will get into that show and go, no, this is not good. And the fact is, it's a comedy that isn't funny. I seriously laughed once. In fact, I don't know if it was an actual laugh. It could have been is that worth watching, 10 episodes, 25 minutes each? Not me. They had potential and wasted it. Yes. I have no idea what anyone's talking about since I'm at work. Ricky, that's why we love you. We love you because of that. So, the opening of Pygmalion. No. No. That's not one of my favorite movies. Bujo. Get out of here. No. Rob hates Blockbuster TV show. That's correct. And the thing is, I actually liked a lot of the actors. I think that's what annoyed me even more. It's like, give them something funny to say. And not absolutely cringe. I mean, just so much of that show is cringe, man. And I'll say this. JB Smoove. Man, I feel sorry for that guy. They have him do things in that show that I'm like, dude, that is dumb. And Randall Park too. He says things where I'm like, oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad. So, my favorite part about Blockbuster, this is Rufus the Red saying this. Rufus the Red, not Rufus from Blockbuster, but Rufus the Red. Okay, let's all be clear. Just kidding. My favorite part about Blockbuster was my aunt working there and buying all the best games. After the 16-bit generation was over, she had so many bootleg VHS 3 movies per tape. Oh, did she like bring them home and record them? I mean, I know a lot of people that did that. I mean, I didn't. What I would do is I would wait for sales and I would see, this is one of those things that only a Blockbuster employee that worked there for a pretty good amount of time would get this. What I would do is, let's say a movie comes out. Let's just say Top Gun Maverick. So Top Gun Maverick, the DVDs go out on the shelf, right? And they get rented. Then after about, I think it's 45 days or 90 days. At some point, the studio would allow us to put them out for previously played, right? So they're used, right? They've been rented. So what I would do is I would look through, and what you could figure out is, I wish I had one. I don't have any, but they would be a copy number. The last 3 digits of the barcode are the copy number. So there might be 150 copies of Top Gun Maverick. What you can do is go in there and you can see how many times each copy number was rented. So what I would do is I would say, oh, copy number 42, I just came up with that number off the top of my head. But hey, copy number 42 has only been rented 4 times. So then I would go find copy 42 on the shelf, open it up. Oh, look, it's perfect. And I'd set copy 42 aside for me. That's how I would do it. So if you're talking about like, and then I'd get it for $10 or whatever, and then plus my employee discount or whatever. So I'd get a really, really pristine copy of the movie for a really, really cheap price. It was a thing. That's what I did. The biggest launch you had while working there, I remember the release of Titanic on VHS was a major deal at the time. If I'm correct, they had midnight launches. They did. And it was the one part of the reason why it seemed like it was such a big deal, at least for us, is because that was before DVD. So they were VHS copies. And the VHS copies of Titanic were double case, the double, you know what I'm talking about? Two VHS copies. Why is my phone on? I'm not answering that. I don't know who that is. Anyway, so the problem is you couldn't face 2 copies on the shelf without it falling off the shelf. So you only had one facing per copy. So we had like 4 whole rows of Titanic. It was huge. So that was part of the deal there. DVD. But yeah, that is definitely the one that I remember being one of the biggest ones. I'm trying to think. I mean, the thing was with DVD, it never seemed like a big deal because they're so thin that you could fit 5 copies on a shelf. So you could do a whole bay, which I think it was 8 across and then 8 down, 8 shelves. So you could have 64 facings with 5 copies each on a shelf. So it never seemed like that big of a deal when it came to DVD. I know we had ones like huge releases. I mean, just think about it. From 97 to say 2010. I don't know when the last time I worked at Blockbuster. I think it was like 2010 or 11. It was as Blockbuster. It was after the late fees thing. But yeah, it was there were huge releases. Scarface had double tapes, that's right. Jurassic Park wasn't a double. But yeah, Scarface was one. Heat was another one. When it came out, it had the 2 tapes. Because it's a long movie, it's 3 hours long. And of course, if the studio would record it at a higher quality, so you could only fit 2 hours on the best quality on VHS. So then they would split it up at like 1 hour and 40. And then the last tape, the second tape would be 1 hour and 10 minutes or whatever. Just depends. V is another one. Yes. Saving Private Ryan. Yeah. Even though Saving Private Ryan, Pearl Harbor. Yes. Yes. The 2 VHS of Titanic and those black boxes rubber banded together. Yep. Exactly. And we would do the blah, 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 blah. And it would just, I don't know. It was fun back then. But yeah, and it would annoy me when people would come in. Hey, you guys have Titanic? We actually had footprints that looked like wet stickers, or looked like a wet footprint on the way to Titanic. And all you had to do was look at the new release wall and you could see the 4 or 5 bays that we had of all the Titanic. And I would be like I'd be sitting at the computer and somebody'd come in. Hey, do you have Titanic? I'd go and look at the wall. And then they would go, oh. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you should think or, look for yourself first. I don't know. Came back in the middle of a Blockbuster rant. A little bit. But no, John, you missed me talking about the reason why I watched the Blockbuster thing. So you can go back and watch it or, whatever. It basically has to do with the script that I'm writing. Just say that. Jurassic Park is a double tape. See, that's weird to me. I don't have any of my VHS anymore. I think I got rid of all of it. Except for Star Wars. I have those. But uh, did they allow you to take movie posters home? Yes, but then we stopped getting them. They got rid of movie posters and they started doing the. In fact, I had standees for Liar Liar. I had standees for Ace Ventura. I had the big standees, but they stopped sending those because they put those window clings, where it's. Did you guys work there with the window clings? The window clings were basically one use things. You could put those on the window, and then they made them even super easy with peel off stickers where you just put the sticker on and it would only last like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they'd come down. So they stopped sending us posters there for a while. I used to rent Waking Life all the time. Watched it yet? No, I'm sorry, Rufus. I haven't watched it yet. I did, like I said, Knights of Old told me to watch Babylon Berlin. He was here, well, a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. Said, hey, have you watched it? And when I was sick, I was like, hey, man, I've got time. I'm not doing anything. I started trying to watch it, and I'm like, I can't, with the reading, I couldn't watch it. But Waking Life, I still have not watched. No, I have not. Hold on a second. Let's see. HBO Max. I really don't have an excuse. I should watch it, right? I should watch it. I just haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry. Kevin Sims, welcome. I used to work at Suncoast. Looking back, had a bunch of fun working there. I know it. I miss those stores. It's why one of the reasons why I love going to Movie Trading Company is because they've kept that feeling alive. I don't know if everybody has those, but I really love going in there. I love when they would come in and then ask if we have a movie. So I'd go there and look at the wall and be like, I think we might have a few. Yeah. I was a smart ass, man, back in those days, even more than I am now. It was rough where I would just go, I would just mess with people all the time. And some people probably think, man, I kind of miss that, Rob, but I don't know. I don't mess with people as much anymore. I don't know. Tons of VHS. Nothing beats tracking issues and tape damage. Nostalgia gold. Yeah, see, there's a part of me, again, I have my VHS Star Wars. You know, that's really the only one I have nostalgia for because it was the first time that I watched or owned a letterbox VHS. And there's something special about that. Other than that, I just don't have nostalgia for formats. Like I don't have nostalgia for 8-track tapes or cassette tapes. I just don't. I don't care. I want pristine quality. And even in a way, I feel the same way about vinyl. Because and especially when these people, I was watching the other day, this guy talking about preamps. So phono preamps for, so if you have an older record player that doesn't have a built-in preamp, or you have a high-end one and you need a preamp, a separate piece of equipment to go in between your receiver, your brand new receiver or whatever, doesn't have a preamp built in. So you have to have that preamp to boost the signal from the record player, right? These preamps start at like super cheap, $20, up to $70, up to $100, $500, $1,000. And the last one that I saw was $13,000. And I'm like, I don't understand why you would buy a $13,000 piece of equipment for report. Can we remove these, please? Thank you. But you know what I mean? It's like vinyl is cool, but I can't see spending that kind of money to play a format that by design is kind of inferior. But I mean, it's just, and I don't have any nostalgia for it Other than I still have, my family's vinyl collection, but yeah. Uh, let's see. Wait. Uh, did your Blockbuster have the Pokemon Snap printing station? We did. In fact, there was so much stuff that we ended up selling off. That man is probably worth a ton of money now. But yeah, we had that. We had all the different thing the all the different systems for sale. Those cases that Jay really likes. We had all those. I've hyped it too much. You'll hate it now. Rufus the Red. I'm not going to say your whole name all the time, but no, I think it'll be fine. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie, and I'll watch it. Isn't that Linklater? It is, right? Is there? Does it show any of the direct? It doesn't. It just shows the cast. Oh no. No. On Just Watch, it doesn't show the director. But yeah, I think that's a Linklater. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just haven't watched it. So, I still have my copy of I Know What You Did Last Summer on VHS from Suncoast. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. There's going to be certain ones that, of course, are probably going to be very nostalgic from people. But for me, I would rather have my pristine copy. And it's part of the reason why, like for Star Wars in particular, I've kept all the different versions that I've owned. In fact, I think I do have the widescreen special editions as well. And then I have the special edition DVDs that came out with the what's the term? Anamorphic widescreen, but then it comes with of the special editions, and then it comes with the original editions in non-anamorphic widescreen, basically a little higher than Laserdisc quality. So I have those. Then I have the Blu-rays. Then I have the 4Ks. It's just Star Wars is special, for me. So yeah, I get it though. Movie trading company kicks ass. It really does. It really does. And yes, Kevin. Yes, we are going to really rad weekend. So yes, I will be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope. I haven't been there, so I don't know. But there's not one of them that I haven't enjoyed. So yeah, we are going. We should be there. I hated VHS issues and all that shit. I have no nostalgia for it. I love my Blu-rays. I'm kind of the same way. I'm kind of the same way. I think Jay wanted the Blockbuster gumball machine. I think he got one. I haven't seen it or anything, but I think he got one. See, what I wanted stuff that probably nobody else cared about. I wanted the Next Register Please acrylic, not acrylic, I guess it's some sort of plastic, but the Blockbuster Next Register Please. I wanted I have some of the in this drawer here. I think I have still some of the keychains. Still have my original name tags. I wished I'd gotten a bunch of the printouts of the actual inserts. I would have loved to have some of those. In fact, I still have some of my DVDs are still some of the previously played or previously viewed, whatever you want to say. And it's still got the original inserts in there. I have to dig them out, but yeah, I have them. So that's the kind of stuff that I liked. But, vinyl sounds better than digital, but you have to listen to it on hi-fi. See, I've heard that. But isn't that subjective? That's the thing. You can say it sounds better, but it doesn't vinyl. Especially like Flax isn't. CD quality is actually got more information on it than your ear can actually pick up. So, in theory, isn't that better? But I don't know. high fidelity. You know what that means? That means this is the highest quality fidelity, hi-fi. Those are two very important things to have in a stereo system. 42 million points to ever get that. Yep, Boogie Nights. Love it. I watched that movie recently, and that movie holds up. The movie's good. But if you think about it, a lot of movies that are set in the past, they always seem to work, and they seem to be timeless because they're working for that period. You know what I mean? It's finally a con that is only a couple hours from where I live. Cool. Yeah, I mean, Kevin. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully, like I said, I've never been there. I've never been to this con. I can't see it being a bad time. I just can't. These conventions have been such a good time. Now, I will say, of all the cons I've been to, this last Retropalooza, just a few weeks ago, was the most insane con I've been to, period. It was so busy that I didn't even get enough footage to make a video out of it because I was so busy talking to people and then running around, and it was just so busy. In a good way, though. I would rather it be so busy that I can't make a video out of it because I'm having so much fun and talking with people, and I loved it. I had so much fun. It was so good. It was so good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you. It's going to be a good time. I'm hoping that this pressure goes away by then. Because otherwise I'm going to be like, how's it going, man? Like, are you high? No, I'm just, my head. Anyway. Carlos said, when our Blockbuster was closing in our area, my brother bought the Pokemon printer machine from them. He and I had to carry it over 20 blocks and up 7 flights of stairs in New York City. New York City? But holy crap. Wow. But you got it. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Man, I don't know how much that thing's worth, but it's got to be worth some money, right? Got to drive home. Be right back. Ricky, be careful, sir. Good old Star Fox. Got to take care. I've been wanting to go to Retropalooza. Tough to make an 8 to 10 hour trip. I'm near New Orleans. I totally get it. Totally get it. I'm just saying, man, that one was, I mean, I've been to a few of them, right? You really can't count the one in that we went to in Philadelphia because that was a 1-day game swap type thing. But SoCal was pretty busy, but was still able to get plenty of footage for that. And it also helps that, helped that not many people knew who I was. For whatever reason, over the last few months, I guess maybe being, helping to film Game Chasers episodes has helped get my face out there so people know who I am. I was just so busy at Retropalooza talking with people and having a good time that I was like, oh crap, I got to try to get some footage. And then when I got when I got home, I'm like, dude, this isn't enough for a video. I mean, it'd be one of those where I'd have to like just talk for a few minutes, to get it over 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But yeah. I don't drive and live in Michigan. I'm a video appearance kind of guy. Rufus, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't be going to these conventions if I didn't have a ride. It's just not my thing. But I'll tell you, it's gotten to a point where I'm really looking forward to each one because each one it has a different flavor, and it kind of energizes me. And especially when I get to meet people like, when I met Star Fox was the first one to come up to me and be like, hey, Order 42. And I'm like, whoa, like what? You know who I am? It was such a weird thing. He was the first one. I got to tell you, from a guy who doesn't have the biggest following on YouTube or anywhere, it's so rewarding and so much fun to talk with the people that I've been talking with in chat. It's so great. So yeah, and look, sorry, I'm looking. Got like what is this on here? Get out of here. Give me just a second. Oops. Right on, sir. Uh, so yeah, 37. I've never driven legally. Wow. I'll tell you what. If I'd lived in a bigger city, I probably wouldn't either. But I mean, Texas is the kind of place where you just kind of have to do that. You know, it's just a thing. So I get it. I totally get it. Just stay under 88 miles per hour and you'll be fine. Star Fox. Yes. 18th in Brooklyn. I saw someone in Queens a few years back within walking with one. I'm pretty sure you're lying. Pretty sure you're lying. Okay, let's look at how this poll is doing. Okay, 47%. 47% have voted for the apple. 37% raspberry, 17% or 16% of lemon donuts. So let's do this. Let's do this. So let me move this a little bit. All right. So here's the deal. It's going in this tank. And you can see here, I'm going to end this poll now. Thank you guys for voting. I really appreciate that. 19 votes, 47%. They're the stats there. But you can see my beautiful wicking job on that. It's one of those things where the longer you do it, the better you get at it. But let's do this. Let's taste this thing, man. I've been excited ever since I got them in, and I was like, okay, so we would have done this last week, but again, too damn sick. So okay, let me make sure I'm getting the right one. Apple. Here we go. Here we go. Smells amazing. You miss dripping sometimes. Tanks are too nice though. I'm exactly the same way. I love to drip when I have my when I have this, man, and then it's great, but it's very inconvenient, especially when you're driving. Can't do it. But here we go. Let's knuckle test. Didn't do the knuckle test. Okay. Think you guys might have. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, okay. So let me explain. The like again, the Psycho Crawler or the original Crawler flavor, it tastes like a really really good donut. And the Crawlers are sort of like they're kind of like a cake donut. They're denser than a donut flavor or than a donut. And there's something about that an original Psycho Crawler flavor. I love it. Okay, this has got. Here, let me turn off the fan for a second so you can see the actual. That turn off. I'm gonna have to turn this fan right back on, by the way, because otherwise we're gonna set off the smoke alarm. And Bucho, when we were doing our our Clone Wars episode with Hope and Chris, I set off the smoke alarm during our recording. So yeah, because this is a very enclosed room. It's very it's not small, but it's very enclosed, and the smoke alarm is in that is above the door there. So, but this is there you go. It's oh dude, oh my gosh, that smells good. It's got some cinnamon a cinnamon kind of flavor to it or smell to it. Oh my god. All right. So then you screw that down. All the way. And then top comes off. Let's see if I can do this on so you can see what I'm doing. Bleh. All right. And then a little bit of liquid on this thing up here so it can because this tank tends to the top tends to lock up. So just work that in there. All right, here we go. Okay, fans on. Fans on. All right, let's try it. Let's give this a good shot. Again, Apple Crawler, Psycho Crawler. You guys voted for it. Deep cuts. This guy is actually a friend of Grim Green, and he makes some amazing stuff. So you can, if you search for deep cuts, e-liquid, I'm sure you'll find it. He's got some amazing stuff. He came out with one called Guava Jelly. I got that one in fact, it's right here. The guava jelly is really good too. So let's try this one. Apple Psycho Crawler. Dude. What's weird about it is that the original donut flavor is way in the back. It's like, hey, I'm a donut flavor. And then the apple is like, how you doing? You know what I mean? The apple is up front. But it's got what's weird is this is hard to explain. But you know when you bite into an apple, there's almost a fibrous flavor to it. Like no matter what apple flavor that you try or apple what do you call that? Um variety that you try. There you've still got that same kind of almost fibrous texture, even the texture of the skin, you can taste the skin. You know what I'm saying? That's in here, which is really strange. So it's got a real apple flavor. It's got some cinnamon on in there too. And then it's definitely a red apple. Wait a minute. Now you got me thinking. Maybe it's a green apple. Because it doesn't have a tartness to it though. Man, that's good. Have you noticed I haven't been coughing that much? So yeah, that's awesome. But wow, this flavor is good, man. I'd say it's a sweeter apple. It's not it's not that tartness like a Granny Smith apple, you know? It's more of a red apple flavor for sure. Puff Rob the Magic Dragon. Yeah. And yeah, Flavor Country. Holding it upright so you don't leak. Never again. See this one. See, here's the cool thing about this one. It's a top airflow. So even if I wicked it poorly and it leaked, all I would get is some gurgle. You know, where it's almost slurpy. You may know what I'm talking about if you're a tank user. But with this, it's I've had this tank for so long. It's my favorite tank that I've ever used. By another YouTube reviewer named Mike Vapes. It's called the Intake Dual. He came out with this, which is called the Blaze RTA. Now, if you look, it's got some of the same sort of design elements. It's a top airflow tank. It's got a lot more airflow. You can see that big airflow on it. So this one's more restricted than this one is, but it's even built similarly. It's got, these are both dual coil. But God, it's so tasty. And it's just my favorite tank. I wish I could buy more of these, but these aren't available anymore to buy. I would like I would like a matte black one like this. But unfortunately, by the time I had gotten this, actually got it in the mail and got to use it, I went, crap, the blacks are sold out. So I waited. I could have bought a gunmetal one. I could have bought another silver one. I could have bought multiples because I have the matte black, the gunmetal, and the silver of this tank because I got them for $25 each. But the Geek Vape Zeus, I think I actually have that in here. I have it in here somewhere. But yeah, I have the Zeus tank too. In fact, I think I have two of them. Really good. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for picking an amazing flavor. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all going to be amazing, but thank you. Thank you for voting. Apple won. Appreciate it. It's awesome. It was awesome. Now, yeah, it is going to be good. I'm excited for Really Rad Weekend. Very excited. Now, I have got to go use the little boys' room to urinate. Not for any other reason, but to urinate. Okay? So give me a few minutes and I'll be right back. Okay? Be right back. Okay. I'm back. No pooping either. I didn't poop. But I did piss. I did piss. Thank you. I just can't stay seated while the Be Right Back Bossa Nova plays. And no fapping. No fapping. Just gotta shake it like get up and shake it like a Polaroid picture. That's right. That's right. That's why I do it. Liquid sunshine in audio form. The good type. Not the skin cancer type. That's true. It is a toe tapper. So it's it's why I chose it. I love it. And you guys probably can't see it, but I can see it. There's a haze in here. So I've got to be careful. I can't vape too much in here or it'll totally... So, thinking of bodily fluids talk, I thought that when I went to the restroom, which I know probably sounds weird, and I probably shouldn't have even said that out loud. But I was thinking, where's Caleb? Where's Caleb at? But yeah, do I game much? Not really. Not recently. The busier that I've been, the video games takes a back seat because I'm loving my reading. So I'm reading I try to read at least 30 minutes every night, sometimes longer. Lately I've been reading like an hour, hour and a half. I just love it. And I gotta say, I talked about it briefly earlier, but that Lays of Beleriand, if you like poetry, it is awesome. It's really, really good. And it also helps if you're a Tolkien nerd, because what he did was, I think he started writing the poetry first, and then he took the stories from the poetry and actually wrote prose. But I'm reading that right now, and I was like, I'm not looking forward to this one. I thought this one was going to be like the worst one yet. It's one of my favorites that I've read, and I'm about halfway through it now. So, yeah, 9 days, 9 days in, and I'm almost halfway through it. It's great. It's really, really great. So I'm just suggest that if you've read the Silmarillion and you're looking for some poetry, I'm telling you, the poetry in Lays of Beleriand is amazing. Oh, and so speaking of Tolkien, Fall of Numenor comes out. In fact, I think it's already. Did it come out today? Fall of Numenor release date. Oh, it comes out next Tuesday. So I should be getting that. I pre-ordered that months ago. I should be getting that soon. And then also they announced that the history of The Hobbit, which is right there, which I read recently, they're releasing a version of that fits this style. So if you're interested in, it's in the Discord, we were talking about this, how the different editions, they have a bunch of different styles. Like this is kind of hard to see, but this style of Lord of the Rings, and then there's this style. This style is illustrated and it's amazing. Then you've got the Silmarillion right here. You've got Unfinished Tales right here. And then these are all the history of Middle Earth, which are a lot older, but they're the same height. So as you can see, here's volume 12, Peoples of Middle Earth. Then you've got Tales of the Perilous Realm here. Basically, it's all going to be so these right here and these right here are all got that matte finish, and then they're illustrated, and they're awesome. So they're doing History of the Hobbit in this style, which is kind of like, damn it, I got to buy that too? Urgh. I don't have to buy it. But yeah, yeah, it's going to be cool. And that comes out in March, I think. So I'll be buying that because I'm a Tolkien nerd. I got to have it. I hear that I haven't much the last year. Yeah, and the thing is about video games is with certain properties, it's a no-brainer. Like an Uncharted game, I got to play it. Legend of Zelda game, got to play it. Metroid game, got to play it. Super Mario, got to play it. There aren't a whole lot of other ones that I'm just dying to play right now. Like I know God of War Ragnarok is coming out. What is it today, or is it Friday? It's probably Friday, right? I have never played the first one, and I haven't played any of the God of War games, so I kind of want to play those. I just kind of do, but haven't gotten around to it. Oh, 11 p.m. tonight is God of War. Okay. Yeah, see, and I haven't played them. I did watch the first 2 hours of Jacksepticeye did a video of God of War Ragnarok, and it was awesome. And I'm like, man, this game looks really cool. I kind of want to play it. But man, I got a list of games to play just like I do movies and books and all that stuff, and I'm just trying to make my way through it. So yeah, hopefully things will calm down a little bit. And again, I'm pulled back on my videos. I'm only going to be doing 2 videos a week now. That's mostly so I can focus on getting this script finished. Of course, we got to figure out what we're doing with some of that stuff. But yeah, once we do that, it'll be I should be able to get back into some gaming. But lately, nah. If I do, it's to get in there and mess around a little bit in Diablo or something. But it's very rare. So yeah. And Luigi's Mansion was great. I had never played any of them, and I bought the Luigi's Mansion 3. It is a fantastic game. Definitely. I got a graphic novel for Dune at my local today. Really? I didn't see that actually. Is it based on the movie, or is it just like an adaptation of the story? Tell me more about it. I'm kind of curious. I was gonna get it with Sonic, but Sonic is meh, and I don't feel like getting God of War. I'm just gonna buy another Switch and another Switch. Stoked for Callisto Protocol. Yeah, that looks awesome. It really does. If I were you, I'd do an Indian movie review every day. I'll tell you this, because this is something I've really been thinking about it. Because as you know, in the last month, 28 days, 194.9 thousand views, 8.4 hours of watch time. And in the last 28 days, 1,000 subscribers. So I'm up to what am I up to now for subscribers? Remember, it was a struggle. I was at 312 subscribers in June. Did that RR video, things started going nuts. Then of course Billy did the shout out in that Game Chasers video. It went nuts again. Finally hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and now we're up to 2,363. I think, doesn't it? Oh, 2,365. So yeah, that's nuts, man. And it's that last Kantara video. I mean, it went insane. What is it at now? It's at 111,000 views. That's just nuts. But here's the thing. First of all, I've had a lot of people, here's the thing. I almost want to do a separate video for this, but it's like, for my Indian viewers, you need to understand something about me. I like movies of all, I've been watching Chinese movies a lot. I love my German movies. I love my my Japanese movies, my Kurosawa films. Son of a bitch, you guys need to F off. Jeez. Yeah, we don't need any kind of finding love. Jeez. But yeah, I love I love movies, period. I love old movies. I love new movies. I love foreign films. I love them all. French films. But here's the thing. I'm not going to... The one thing I never wanted to do is to sort of capitalize on this industry. And for me, it's a little disheartening that I can put out an Indian review and it go nuts, but then not as many people will check out the sex bots, Rob. Yeah, but you guys can't report them, right? I think I have to report them. So if you guys will time him out and get him hidden, great. But I think I have to report him. Anyway. Oh, you can report them. Okay, cool. Okay. Then I'll just let you guys do your thing. Thank you guys. But it's my whole thing is I don't want to be that guy. There were I didn't realize that anybody can report. I didn't know that, Rufus. Thank you. I've actually had people comment in the hundreds and hundreds of comments that I get for these videos that I'm just another one of these people that are, I'm just trying to capitalize on it. And that's not what I'm about. I'm about watching a movie and reviewing it and talking about it. And that's it. I never expected the kind of response to those videos that I've been getting. And a lot of these new people that are on the channel, that are subscribed to the channel, are Indian folk, right? And I really appreciate that. But I need them to understand that I'm not going to only do Indian movies. Because I mean, yeah, I could watch one every day and put a review out and they'd go nuts and I'd probably make a lot of money. But that's not what I'm in this for. I'm in this to enjoy the process. And the one thing I don't want to do is get freaking burned out, on a certain genre or a certain movie like that. I just don't want to do that. So I almost feel like I need to do this separate video to just kind of explain that to them, so they understand that I'm not doing it for the views. I'm not doing it for money or anything like that. All of that stuff that comes with it is nice. It's a bonus, but it's not why I'm doing it. And in a lot of ways, I hope that those videos have not only been good for them to watch so they can see what it's like for somebody like me, an outsider, to watch their films, but it also gets some of you guys to watch some of these movies that you may not have originally. That's what this is about. It's what I love to do. It's the same reason why if RRR came out and I was working in Blockbuster, you better believe I'd be telling everybody that comes in, you got to see this movie. Yeah, it's Indian. I don't know. No, seriously. You need to see this movie. This movie's insane and great and so much fun. You've got to see it. So I guess that's it. It's like a lot of them are kind of, I say a lot of them, a few of them have accused me of not having that level of integrity. Or, like one called me, he's like, this review is kind of idiotic because it's like you don't know anything about Indian culture. No, I don't. I live in the US. I live in Texas, for crying out loud. Just like if I made a movie set in Texas, I wouldn't expect every Indian person to be able to understand every reference and every cultural, thing that happens in Texas. I don't expect you to know that. So I don't understand why you would expect me to know everything about India. Again, that's a very, very small amount of people that have done that. But yeah, my Indian reviews are going nuts. But it's not my focus. My focus is putting out reviews that I want to watch. That's how I look at this channel. It's if I wanted to know about a movie or a TV show, streaming show, whatever, I do reviews so that if I hadn't watched it and it's good enough for somebody, to recommend, how could I get me to watch it? If that makes sense. It's like my Arcane video was really to try to get people to watch it. And I was really, really excited about Kantara because it was like, oh my gosh, this is the first time I get to actually see an Indian movie in the theater with Indian people. Like I think I was the only white person there, and it was exciting. And I wanted to share that. That's it. And a lot of people were like, well, why don't you know anything about the culture? Why don't you read up on the culture before you go see a movie? I'm like, I never do that. It's the movie's job to give me the story, right? And to make me understand. I got it. I understood the story. But I'm not going to get every single reference that is, you know what I mean? So I don't know. That's why I do what I do. And so as much as I want, there's a part of me that's like, man, I could do one once a week and make some money. It's not about the money. It's just not about the money for me. It's never been about the money for me. If it was about the money, I would have quit. I would have stopped doing all of this stuff and gone back and got my job with the fruit company. It's not about the money. It's about doing something that I love doing. And watching movies is something I love doing. And I don't want to burn myself out on a bunch of Indian movies that where I'm neglecting other things that I want to watch. I hope that makes sense. I've probably talked too long about that. Anyway. Okay, wait. I sold my last OLED Switch while we were at Retropalooza. See, here's the thing. I want an OLED, but not because of... The thing is there's no reason for me to get it because I play mine docked. But I kind of want one just because it's I know it's better. But I can't justify it. I just can't. Herbert's son and some dude. Yeah, Kevin J. Anderson and Brian Herbert, right? Seems to be just the first book. I'll keep you posted. Interesting, because I think that might be an offshoot because they are continuing Dune. But yeah, let me know how it goes. Phone died, had to find the other phone. That's the way it works sometimes. What did I think of the Raid Redemption and the Raid 2? They're awesome. Yeah, love them. They're great. And see, that's the thing. I'm big into martial arts films. Like I've watched martial arts films that I'm sure there's probably nobody that's watched them. Or not many that have watched them. They're not as popular as like, say, something like The Raid. I'm talking about the really cheesy ones, from the 70s where it's like, I love those. I love them. The really bad ones, you know what I mean? I just love them. There's something about them I just love, but hey. Yeah, the raid, oh man, they're good. They're good. My Arcane video is why I watched Arcane. See, and that right there is why I do it. Bucho. I don't know why I have to do that every now and then. I just think it's funny. Just dropping in to say hi and leave a like. Ted, thank you, sir. It's not close enough. But thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, you do what you got to do. I have a bunch of the Dune continuations. See, yeah, I have only read the first book, and I kind of, even though I really liked the first book, it didn't grab me enough to make me want to continue. So it'll be interesting to see how the second Dune movie is going to be, even though it's the second part of the first book. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out and if it makes me want to read more. I don't know. People look at me weird if I ask them if I've seen Snake and Eagle Shadow since they've never heard of it. In fact, I think I might own that. I'd have to look. I think I might own that one, or I've at least seen it. Because I have, I bought one of those. Okay, anybody know Fry's? Fry's used to have these box sets of martial arts movies. And it'd be like, or just any kind of movie, sci-fi movies or action movies or whatever. And it'd be like 50 movies for like $30 or something ridiculous. I have many of those. And so I ripped a bunch of those and I have a bunch of them on my hard drive and I still haven't watched them all. But those are great, man. I love that kind of stuff. But Snake, I'm pretty sure I've seen that one. That sounds familiar to me. Need a Bucho sound that sounds like toasty every time. Yeah. Bucho. The first Dune is slow. A lot of Dune is slow. Yeah, and that's the thing. It didn't grab. It kept my attention, but it also felt like, okay, I'm going to be glad so I can move on. I'm glad I read it. Now let's move on. We had those box sets at Hastings here. I wish I bought them. I have a lot of them. Like I said, I think I have 2 or 3 of them, and I ripped them because I just did. But you know what time it is? We haven't done this in a few weeks. You know what time it is? It's time for Have You Seen This? Hello, rebel scum. Have you seen this? I couldn't come up with it. My brain was just like, no, let's just move on. So let's watch some Have You Seen This? If you don't know what this is, Have You Seen This is where I've collected some things on the internet where I think they're funny, on Reddit, and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. And yeah, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's cute, sometimes it's just awesome. So here we go. First up, the most vigilant cat. No audio on this one. So we're just going to have to watch it. Oh, it started over. I just think that's hilarious. I love it. I love that kind of stuff. Oh, here's another cat one. Talk about getting ripped off. This one does have audio, but there's no music, thankfully. So here you go. What a waste of money. Did we watch this one before? I feel like we watched it before. But it's worth watching again. It's still really funny. It's like they know you spent money on something for them. Yeah, the cat may be broken. But yeah, I love it. Now this one, I know we haven't watched before. At least I don't think we did. Dude, tell me if we've watched these before. I feel like I kind of feel like we have, but imagine explaining this to the insurance company with no video. Those are moose. Meese? Mooses? Oh. Holy crap, dude. All new to you? And then yeah, had not seen either of the first two. Okay, so good. I saw this, would be so damn pissed about my vehicle being damaged. Yeah, holy crap, man. I mean, I'm glad I don't live in Canada for this reason. I think moose, I think they're cool, but holy crap, man. Just pure power. But holy crap, man. All right, let's move on here. Greatest goalkeeper. Now this one, unfortunately, no audio because there's freaking music. I don't understand why they have to put music to something like this. It's 9 or 12 seconds. But this was really funny. Here we go. And he still catches it. Holy crap. Didn't realize it was 10. I have to go. Rufus the Red. Thank you. Thank you for being here. It's great seeing you. Hope to see you again soon. Have a good one. Have a good one. Next up. This one, I don't know if a lot of people have probably seen this, but thanks, man. Great stream. I appreciate it. Extra points to the doggy goalie vid for shooting in the landscape, right? But yeah, have a good one. Thank you for being here. This one just cracked me up. So guy wakes up in the wrong house. We're going to let him tell this story.
This couple have woke me up, right, and went, like, who are you, right? And I'm like, hey, talking about just I was at this party last night here, and they're like, there was no party. I'm like, no, there was. I remember the Northern Lights, right? And he went, no, trust me, there's no party here last night. They just woke up on our couch, right? So I went to get a taxi last night. Gospel. I went to get a taxi last night. The taxi's left, and I've come into the Rang house. I've come into the Rang house, got a cover, went to sleep. And this couple woke me up this morning like that. Who are you? Instead of getting then back into the party, I went into the house next door. I went into the house next door, and thank God, this woman's from Glasgow, so she's like, and we're welcoming. Cup of tea, a fag. Oh, the party was next door. Honestly, thank you very much for being so understanding.
You're welcome.
Tell me that's not the best. It's so good. It cracks me up, man. It cracks me up. I hope you enjoyed that. And, maybe the subtitles probably help. But, if you don't understand Scottish that well. But, yeah, that would not fly here in America. Holy crap. Yeah, you'd get, you might get shot. Must have been fudged up for sure. But, yeah, I just thought it was funny. So, hope you enjoyed that. That was Have You Seen This? We've got rebels to round up, and yes, that is Lord Vader and the Emperor. Dude, I'm not even in the mood to do voices today. This is a bad idea to do the British one. Anyway, glad you enjoyed. Have You Seen This? I love doing it. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. So now, that episode 3, it is from episode 3. Oops. Well, we're going to get to that. But no, yeah, that is from episode 3. And I just photoshopped myself in there. Please say hi to Deidre from me, Commander Robbie. Robbie. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. But anyway, let's get into the news because honestly, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of news, and I am hot. It is hot in here. Hot in here, but yes, The Sandman has been renewed for season 2. Yes! If you haven't seen The Sandman yet, and you need some help, I did a review on it. Didn't I? Yeah, I did. And of course, well, you can't really see him because of the microphone. But yeah, I'm a big fan of The Sandman. And I'm really happy that Netflix has greenlit the second season. I'm very, very excited. Next one needs to have one of you in the Max Rebo band. It's a good idea, Wraith. It's a good idea. But it has been renewed. And look, I'm excited. I love season 1 so much. I think they did an absolutely killer job. I can't even, like, as I was reading it, I was sitting there going, how are they going to make a movie or a series out of this? This is like insane. And they've done an absolutely amazing job. Holy crap, man. Come on, you guys. Get out of here. Jeez. I don't know. Perfect matches are in my top 3 types of match. Well, you know what? What I don't like is them coming in here. And look, man, right now I have 6 viewers. Seriously? 6 viewers? Why? Why are you here? I'm not a big stream. Just calm down. Every time, right when I look away, it's no big deal, dude. It's no big deal. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to that. Of course, don't know when that's coming, but it has been greenlit, so that is good news. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this. If you're into video games, you probably have seen this. This was announced yesterday. Yes, yesterday. Gears of War, a live-action movie and an animated series coming to Netflix. Now, if you haven't played Gears of War over on the Xbox or PC, holy crap. Gears of War is, it's awesome. Can they do this, though? Can they pull this off? In fact, I think I haven't played Gears of War 3 on, but I kind of want to. But again, just haven't had time. Haven't had the time. I'm glad I bought that Xbox Series X with the where you pay every month. Not using it. It's kind of irritating. But anyway. So that's a thing. Dave Bautista better be Phoenix. I mean, right? Like, if he's not, I'm going to be seriously like, what are you guys even doing? But the good thing is, Dave Bautista has already been on Netflix in a Netflix exclusive movie, Army of the Dead. So hopefully he will be there for this. It's gonna be an exciting thing. Also, of course, with Really Rad Weekend this week, we also have Wakanda Forever coming out this week. By the way, I'm sure you guys know about this movie. The reviews have been very good. There have been some reviews that have said that it's a little long. They've said because it's 2 hours and 41 minutes, which is pretty long for a Marvel movie. But they say that the heart of this movie is it's worth watching. Oh, you're talking about the Netflix one you mentioned. Which you heard? Oh, Army of the Dead. I didn't like Army of the Dead, but hey, what are you gonna do? But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this. I don't know when I will get to see it. Earliest would be probably next week because of Really Rad Weekend. We'll be leaving Thursday, so I should be on the road when those first showings start, on Thursday. I don't know. We probably won't even have time to go see a movie because we'll be so busy doing the whole convention thing. So that is something, like I said, man, I've been looking forward to this movie for a long time. I really like the first one. First one's got problems. Look, I mean, the CG in the first one isn't the best, but it's still, in my opinion, one of the better stories in the MCU. I'm looking forward to see what they do with this. Even though my fat head's in the way and blocking the logo, I pretty much know that you probably know what this is. It's Wakanda Forever. Coming out this weekend. So, this is too soon. Chadwick Boseman was too important to the story. Well, that's the thing. I mean, they actually deal with that. And Ryan Coogler said that it was really important for him to write a movie that not only honored him but honored the character, and he said, look, I knew Chadwick very much, very, very well, and he would want this to go on. He wouldn't want it to stop at the first movie. So, I mean, like I said, I haven't seen it, but I think it'll honor him. So, yeah, we'll see. Man, it's just Marvel, but to each their own. Yeah, I mean, look, I haven't been a big fan of Phase 4. I still haven't even watched Thor: Love and Thunder yet. But I probably should have watched it this week while I had nothing to do. Huh. But anyway, I mean, I get it, but hey, I really liked Black Panther. So, can't stop a whole series of movies because one actor died. The show must go on. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people were really thinking kind of the same thing though. We're like, do we even, is it weird to go on? But again, I would think that the guy that had been working with Chadwick Boseman that closely for such a long time would probably be the best person to know if Chadwick would have wanted it. And I think Chadwick did. He loved Black Panther a lot. And that's the thing that, especially when you see some of that behind the scenes footage with, or not even behind the scenes. It's more of like promotional stuff for the movie that Chadwick he was so blown away by the love for that character and what it meant to people. And it was really important to him to play Black Panther. And, so like I said, I'm hoping for the best, you know? Even though they said that it's not perfect. It's not a perfect movie. They said it's about, I've heard anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes too long. And they do a little too much trying to set up what's coming next. But it's still, the heart of the movie still remains true and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. But anyway. You still haven't seen Love and Thunder either? Yeah. Let's see. I'm good with Black Adam being the last movie you see in the theaters this year. Well, there is definitely a couple of movies that I want to see in the theater this year. And one of them is this one, because it'll be in theaters for a week, November 23rd, starting November 23rd. The new trailer came out this week, and I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it does a great job of setting up what the story is without giving anything away. I'm really excited, especially if you're a Dave Bautista fan. Ooh. There's some Dave Bautista in this trailer. But no, I'm really looking forward to this, and definitely want to see that in the theater. And of course, when it comes to other movies that I want to see in the theater this year, and just happens that there's another trailer released this week, and that is Avatar: The Way of Water. Look, I'm an Avatar fan. I'm a James Cameron fan. He's never let me down. I can't think of a single James Cameron movie that I didn't like. So yeah, I'm gonna be watching that when it comes out. But that's just me. But it's probably not just me. I think a lot of people are looking forward to Avatar: The Way of Water. So yeah, and those trailers were kind of awesome. I'm glad that they didn't give too much away in Avatar. I mean, it's supposed to be like 15 years later, right? I don't know. Gonna be many layers in that glass onion. Oh yeah. I think it'll be good. Would have fully supported Michael B. Jordan coming back and taking up the mantle. They could have made a real good story. Yeah, the problem there is that, I don't know. It might have been a little strange to bring back that character of Killmonger, right? He just died in the previous movie. In a way, I could see, that may, or that could have happened or whatever, but I'm hoping that Ryan Coogler's done a good job with the sequel, and he's another one. Ryan Coogler's another director where I'm like, I've liked every movie this guy's done. Every movie I've seen, I've liked it. So he's on my list of directors that I will fully support, for sure, because I like him. So we'll see. Probably won't see another superhero movie till Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I mean, I can't blame you. I cannot blame you. But I'm still excited. I'm excited. Look, I want every movie to be good. When I see a trailer and I'm like, hey, that looks pretty good, I'm rooting for it. I want it to be good. Just like I was rooting for that blockbuster. I was hoping that I was completely wrong and that the series would go a different route than what my story is, but it would still be really, really good. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. He's a solid actor. I was surprised they killed him after one movie. I mean, you're not wrong. I think Michael B. Jordan is fantastic. And if you haven't seen the Creed movies, holy crap. I'm really excited to see Creed 3, even though there was news that apparently Sylvester Stallone is not happy with the way that they're going with Creed 3. But, I mean, he's going to be directing it too. It's going to be interesting to see that one. I saw him. In fact, I don't think I haven't seen Creed 2 yet. I own it and I still haven't seen it. But there you go. But moving on, but kind of not. One of my favorite characters in the first Black Panther movie is M'Baku, played by Winston Duke. And Winston Duke has been insanely good in everything I've seen him in. And guess what? He is going to be, oops, that's Avatar. That's not Winston Duke. That's Winston Duke. He is going to be in The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Stephanie Shu, I think is how you say her name. She played the daughter in Everything Everywhere All at Once. She's supposed to be in The Fall Guy as well. I mean, and Aaron Taylor Johnson is going to be in The Fall Guy. So this is really this is shaping up that this could be a really good movie. Now, Bullet Train Helmer David Leitch is directing the movie, right? So yeah, he directed Bullet Train, which was fine. But I'm really excited. I mean, that's a great cast right there. Ryan Gosling, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Winston Duke, Stephanie Shu. I'm excited. A reboot of the Fall Guy show. Yes. Yes. It sounds like fun. Now, again, this is one of those where there's very little to know about it except they've been cast, right? Fine. Welcome, Leon. How's your tummy? But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that one. So yeah. Now, again, this is one of those things that happened in the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, because of my sickness, and we didn't get to cover this on last week's show. Better than your taste in movies. I think it'll be good. But this is something that came out before the like I said, would have been on last week's show, but because I've missed last week's show, I want to talk about it. And that is that Henry Cavill is going to be leaving The Witcher after season 3. So season 3 apparently has already been shot and is in post-production. He's not coming back to Geralt. So, interesting. And Liam Hemsworth is going to be taking on the role. Now, I'll say this. I love Henry Cavill, okay? I've actually heard people say Cavill. I don't know how to say it. Is it Cavill or Cavill? I don't know. All I know is it's Henry Cavill. Anyway, the first 2 seasons of The Witcher were fine. To me, they were fine. I wasn't too excited about, I was excited to watch them, but I felt fine after it. it's like, okay, caught a cold after the food poisoning, so just getting over it now. Cave Isle? Maybe. It may be Henry. It may be Henry Cavill. Cave Isle. I don't know. Why did they switch off from Cavill? See, here's the thing. Now, okay, just go with me here. You remember, after Justice League, Superman was kind of put on the back burner by the powers that be at Warner. I have no issues with, I love Cavill as Superman. Right. Cavill was put on the back burner with Warner Brothers and Superman. So, he campaigns to be Geralt. It is Geralt, right? I think it is. Anyway, doesn't matter. He was campaigning that he wanted this role. And they even said, we want to do 7 seasons. And he's like, I'm completely down for 7 seasons. I honestly think that part of the reason why he was campaigning so hard is because he wanted something to replace Superman as a big tentpole franchise that he could be a part of. Now that he's kind of back as Superman, I think that's why he's not coming back to The Witcher. Just my thoughts. Now, you could say, well, Rob, that makes sense. It may absolutely make sense. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It makes a lot of sense. I think that's what it is. I think that now that the new head of Warner Brothers, David Zaslav, has been saying repeatedly that Superman needs to be the heart of the Justice League and the heart of the DC going forward. I think that's why, and they love Henry Cavill. I think that's why he's leaving The Witcher. So, yeah, that's because WB is all in on focusing on Superman and the DC universe now. They want Henry front and center at the helm of all of that. I just said that. I'm just kidding. I think he left because they stopped being true to the source material. There's a petition to replace the writers. I did not know that. But here's something else that I'm not sure if you guys knew about this. This is when I heard about this, I was like, "Oh. Did you see this? Superman film rumors fly after Steven Spielberg meets with Warner Brothers boss." So, here's how the story goes. Okay? Let me see. Does it actually... Hold on a second. Does this actually have the story? Yes, it does. Yes. So, here's what happens. David Zaslav and Steven Spielberg are having lunch on the Warner Brothers lot. Okay? And then, suddenly, out of nowhere, two other people join the lunch. Christopher Nolan and Peter Safran. Now, Peter Safran is basically the co-head of the DC universe now, along with James Gunn. James Gunn, Peter Safran are the head of DC going forward now, right? Starting November 1st, they took over. Now, James Gunn is going to be very, very busy with the Guardians and all that stuff for a while. But once he's done with that, he's completely DC as far as we know. So isn't it weird that we've got David Zaslav, the head of Warner Brothers, meeting with Steven Spielberg, and then joining that lunch, you got Christopher Nolan and Peter Safran, the head of DCU, the DC universe. Now, if you don't remember this, Christopher Nolan was the producer of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. That's why these rumors are going around. Here's what's even more interesting. You may not remember this, but holy crap, Christopher Nolan was pissed off at Warner Brothers, hated Warner Brothers, right? Because of what happened with the day and date releases, right? We're going to release movies in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time, which basically meant that theaters were not going to be able, or the box office wasn't going to be able to recoup as much money as it would be if it was an exclusive release, right? Christopher Nolan put out all kinds of statements saying that I would rather work for anyone than what I consider to be a second-rate film studio now. And so, Christopher Nolan, after years and years of working with Warner Brothers, said, my next movie is going to be with Universal. So Oppenheimer, his next film, will be a Universal movie. All of the problems that Christopher Nolan had was with the previous regime. Now that David Zaslav is back, it appears that he is repairing some of the damage that happened before. Not only is Henry Cavill back as Superman, but he's got Christopher Nolan appearing to be welcomed back into the fold, along with the head of DC, co-head of DC, and Steven effing Spielberg, who many consider to be the greatest filmmaker, at least of our time, but maybe of all time. So what could this mean? Could this mean that Steven Spielberg is going to produce a movie and Christopher Nolan could direct it? Could it mean that Christopher Nolan produces a movie directed by Steven Spielberg. You can see why they connected these dots. And you can see why people like me hear this news and go, you can quote me on that. I'm excited. I am excited about this. Now, nothing has been said. Nothing has been, I mean, who knows? But the fact is, Man of Steel remains, even with all the problems that it has, because look, it has problems. But even with the problems it has, it is my favorite of all of the DC universe. Well, starting with Man of Steel. It's my favorite one. So the idea that number one, Henry Cavill is back as Superman. Number two, there's a possibility that Christopher Nolan is back as a producer or something else, and that Steven Spielberg is involved too. I mean, holy crap, dude. Now, I mean, this could be completely separate. And this could be, hey, maybe they're just talking. They're like, you know what? Hey, bring Chris in. Hey, bring Peter in. Let's have lunch. Let's chat. Could be nothing, but it could be something. And I wanted to bring it to your attention because I thought it was really, really cool. And of course, when you connect the dots, holy crap, this could be amazing. Just saying. Warner Brothers buying the franchise rights to bring Amblin Entertainment, E.T., into the Superman universe. I don't know about that, but that could be a thing. Amblin could be, because Amblin is, wait a minute. So there's DreamWorks, but DreamWorks is kind of I'm trying to think. Who distributes DreamWorks movies? Is it Universal? I can't remember. But who knows? New villain for the sequel confirmed here first. E.T.? I don't think so. I heard a rumor that Cavill can get a little pissy sometimes. Well, everybody can. It's not Pixar. No. Old regime fractured lots of the relationships of the great directors under their helm. Nolan, Snyder, George Miller, and Denis Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve took out an entire page ad in Variety basically saying the same sorts of things. I think David Zaslav is doing his best to try to repair some of those relationships. Absolutely. Jason Momoa did an interview and said he was very happy and excited for the future. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Having a Spielberg Superman may mean we could have an upbeat Superman as good as Superman 1. James, welcome. And yes, you're absolutely right. And it could mean that not only that, but Cavill was even recently saying something along the lines that he's looking forward to being a very positive Superman. I mean, there's a lot of different things going on. I mean, him leaving The Witcher, all of these, it feels like a lot of pegs are being dropped in the right holes, if you know what I mean. That sounds kind of dirty. I don't mean it to be, but it could be. It could be a thing. Pixar is Disney, yes. Seems like Marvel is flailing now and DC is on the rise. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Marvel feels a little, yeah, I would say flailing is a good word. They haven't had that just huge success in a while. The better successes have been over with Sony, right? With Spider-Man and you really can't count Morbius, can you? But yeah, Spider-Man's been doing really well. Manuel Gasson Leger. Hello, I have an update for my fan edit of the sequel trilogy. My fan edit of the sequel trilogy is delayed to spring 2023. Thank you for the updates. I apologize for not getting back with you. I have been very busy and then got sick and now I'm busy again. So it may be a while before I can even watch your fan edit of the Book of Boba Fett, right? I have it. I just haven't watched it yet. So there you go. Man of Steel, directed by Spielberg, produced by Nolan, written by David S. Goyer, same writer of Man of Steel, starring Henry Cavill, is a blockbuster in the making. It could be the single biggest news, maybe of the year, something like that. If this is a thing, I mean, look, I'm just excited. I'm excited to see where they're going to go. I mean, who knows? But the other thing that someone else brought up, and this was actually over on John Campia's show, he said, "Why release the news? Because season 3 of The Witcher hasn't even come out yet, right? So why would they announce that Henry Cavill is leaving and that Liam Hemsworth is coming in for season 4 so soon?" There's two possibilities. Number one, season 4 of The Witcher is going into production much sooner than expected, or they're trying to get ahead of the news that Warner Brothers is about to drop. Who knows? All I know is I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. Very excited. Marvel has had a great run, but it is probably done. Story fatigue is set in. On a different note, when is Game Chasers 2 coming out, James? Look, we're still working on the Blu-rays. And I say we, mostly Billy, has been working on the Blu-rays. I'm not sure where he is in the process. I know that there have been some issues that we've worked out. There have been some errors in the authoring that have been fixed. I don't know where he is in the process, but that is his complete focus right now. So I'm currently working on a CGI scene for my fan edit of Rogue One. Man, well, I'll say this. Fan edits have taken sort of a back seat on my channel simply because I think number one, there's just so many. And it's so hard to find ones that are like, I'm trying to find ones that are like holy crap, how can I get as many people as possible to watch it? So the one thing that I will suggest to you is you need a place where you can host them. You need to get some sort of maybe a website where you can put news updates and things like that so people can follow you. You need to have a presence on fanedit.org. That is the absolute best place to get notoriety and get people to watch your stuff. I mean, there's a lot of work that has to be done behind the scenes. I'm not sure how much you've done on that front, but yeah, fan edits are definitely cool, but mostly I look for ones that are either like something that's in the news or something that's just, oh my God, I got to check this out. Honestly, with Star Wars, I'm getting a bit fatigued with the fan edits of Star Wars. Not because they're bad, but just because there's so many different takes that it's just like, ugh. I mean, that 1 week when I did like 3 reviews of different Star Wars ones, it was like, dude, I'm getting burned out watching these. And the one thing, I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about the Indian films, which the Indian films have blown up my channel, but I don't want to get burned out on them. And so with fan edits, it's the same thing. I don't want to get burned out on fan edits, and especially when they're all focused around Star Wars, if that makes sense. I love Star Wars. I don't want to get burned out on it. So I'll just say that. If Warner Brothers is on the warpath, I'd ask James Cameron or Peter Jackson to do a Green Lantern movie. Both directors are excellent at world building. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can go. And Warner Brothers seems to be back on this idea of let the creators do their thing. Like if we're going to hire a director, we're going to let that director do their thing. But the thing is too, is that Warner Brothers is also trying to create a franchise, right? They're trying to, and they've been talk about flailing. They're all over the place, you know? Birds of Prey is over here doing this thing, and then you got Joker doing this thing. You've got the Batman over here doing this thing. They've been doing a lot of different universes, and they need something to, which again, Peter Safran and James Gunn are supposed to be doing this, right? Bringing everybody together and saying, okay, this is how we're moving forward. Man, I would love to see someone like James Cameron or Peter Jackson to do it. James Cameron, though, he's going to be busy for a while. I mean, he's working on them Blue People movies, you know? But it would be awesome to see him take on a project like this. Now, here's what's funny. My next news article is about a certain director talking about a comic book movie. It's kind of interesting that you bring that up. You should be a producer, Carbonite. I mean, look, it would be, well, producer is one of those things where it's not just, a producer is an interesting role because you're basically the guy that's responsible for getting things done. So the director has this vision. So the producer's job is to go out and find the people that they're going to work with. So sometimes the director has a cinematographer in mind. Sometimes it has a group of effects guys that he wants to work with, a group of actors he wants to work with. But it's the producer's job to get that done. No matter what it is, the producer's job is to help get it done. It's finding money. It's finding the right people to work on the movie. It's when things go wrong, putting out fires. He's also in the studio system. He's the middleman between the studio and the director. So in a lot of ways, like when you hear about studio interference, it's because the studio has forced the producer to say, hey, we want this. And the director's over here making his movie, and the producer's like, they want this in the movie. And they're going to pull our funding if we don't do this. So it's weird. In a lot of ways, the producer is the buffer between the creative person, the director, the creative guy that's putting everything together, and the studio, the money that mostly doesn't have any creative bone in their body, right? So in a lot of ways, the producer is that buffer. And the best producers are the ones that are able to work with the studio and say, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is it. And the best producers kind of insulate the director so the director can do their job. When you see studio interference, it could be the studio is just so adamant that this is going to have to be done, like in the case of, like, say, Alien 3, where, I mean, David Fincher was dogged by the studios repeatedly. It could have been just a weak producer that couldn't say no and couldn't stop the studio. Do their job is to insulate David Fincher to where he could do his job. So a producer is a big job. In a way, in an independent film kind of way, I think producer would be one of the best jobs, because you're not only involved in every aspect of the process, and your job is to get it done. And that's what Scott did on Adventures in Game Chasing. He just got things done. Oh my gosh, we need somebody to test the fire, setting maybe that's we need to test some fire stuff. And guess what? Scott stepped up and said, hey, that's what I'm here for. Set my butt on fire. And Leon did. This is how bad Warner Brothers messed up. Guillermo del Toro wrote an entire script of Justice League Dark, which would delve into the world of the supernatural years before Marvel, yet Warner Brothers did nothing with it. But see, that's the thing, though. I mean, I can't blame the studios for making a decision, because they might say, hey, that's cool and all, but that's not the direction we're going. But then again, like I said, they've got the Joker over here doing this. In this universe, you've got Birds of Prey kind of going off and being whatever that is. And then Suicide Squad being over here doing this. And then you've got the Batman over here doing this. I mean, but the thing is, there are probably hundreds of great scripts that are just sitting on the shelf. Hundreds of possibly great movies that just sit there. And they don't get done for years. And sometimes they sit on the shelf forever. And then sometimes you hear about, oh yeah, well this script has been in the works for like 15 years, and it's changed hands, and it's gone from this studio to this studio. It's amazing. I'm surprised Dune was ever made. Well, Denis basically, I mean, look, I understand that Leon doesn't like Dune, and I know that there are people out there that think Dune is slow. But that movie is a tour de force to me, like in every aspect of it. It's just the sound design, the sound design especially is so good. but the cinematography, the way that they shot that movie, the way that they transferred it to kind of give it a filmic look, even though it's digital. There's so many different things about that movie that I'm just so impressed with on a technical level that I can't help but be entranced with it. And of course you got Hans Zimmer doing the score. And that's the only thing that scares me about if and when they do another Superman. Hans Zimmer has basically said, I'm done with the superhero genre. But man, his Man of Steel soundtrack is so good. It's so good. So I really would like some of that back if I could, if I had my way. Went into Dune without knowing it was a series in the 80s. I mean, Dune has been around a long time, right? Wasn't the book released in the 50s? And what's funny is, a lot of people will look at Dune and say, oh man, they ripped that off of Star Wars. It's the other way around. Star Wars ripped off a lot of stuff from Dune. In fact, Star Wars ripped off a lot of stuff from a lot of different places. Flash Gordon, Dune, John Carter. There's a lot of, but that's, to me, the best art is one that can put things together in a unique way. And Star Wars I think is one of the best examples of a creative mind taking a lot of different, taking from a lot of different other artists and making something that feels fresh and new. I mean, The Matrix was the same way. The Matrix is another great example of that. But anyway, I love the new Dune, but I read the book, so it's hard to gauge how a newbie would interface with it. I'm the same way. I read the first book before the movie came out because I wanted to have a frame of reference. And for me, I got to tell you, I'll say this. For those of you who haven't seen Dune and maybe you want to see it, some people, like Leon, doesn't like it. But when, I can't remember her name, but with the hand in the box at the beginning of the movie, that whole scene, I was completely sold. And I said, that scene was absolutely amazing. I got chills and tears in my eyes as I'm watching that scene the first time. In fact, I watched just that part not too long ago. Felt the same thing. That is beautiful filmmaking. Just everything coming together. The music, the sound design, the acting. It was just great. Yeah, Reverend Mother Moheim. Yes. It was great. That scene was beautiful. And badass all at the same time. You know what I mean? So, Starship Troopers came way before Aliens. I mean, right? So yeah, look, everybody's borrowing from everybody else. So, there you go. But here's what I was talking about. When you were talking about both directors excellent at world building, James Cameron and Peter Jackson, and the possibility of them doing a comic book movie. Somebody asked Quentin Tarantino about it, and he explains why he wouldn't direct the Marvel movie. This is what he said. The Elmo's version of that scene is good. Thanks, Leon. He says, you have to be a hired hand to do those things. I'm not a hired hand. I'm not looking for a job. So I found this interesting and I wanted to bring it up just so maybe we could have a little bit of a discussion on it. You see this a lot. You see this, all over the industry in a lot of different ways. You have this big tentpole movie that's coming out, or that's in the works. That's going to happen. Maybe it's a sequel. Maybe it's a big reboot or whatever. And you get super talented directors to come on. But Marvel especially is very Kevin Feige driven. Sure, you've got Ryan Coogler, you've got James Gunn. They put their stamp on things, right? So Quentin Tarantino coming in to do that, he would have to basically fit in to what they've got already planned going around. It's not like he can just go out and make, hey, I'm going to make an X-Men movie, say, but it's going to have that Tarantino that feel to it. Probably wouldn't work in the context of the rest of the MCU. And I think that's what he's trying to say. You have to be a hired hand to do those things. I'm not a hired hand. I'm not looking for a job. In a lot of ways, doing that means that you're going to have to play ball. And you're going to have to, no matter what thing that you have in mind to do for this set of movies, you have to fit in with the rest of it. You remember, Edgar Wright was working on Ant-Man, and he left because of creative differences. It could just be that it's because of the exact reason. There were things that he wanted to do with Ant-Man that just wouldn't fit in with the rest of the MCU. So in a way, I can absolutely see why somebody like Quentin Tarantino wouldn't want to do a Marvel movie. But that doesn't mean, as I said, you've got Ryan Coogler, James Gunn, even Chloe Zhao to a certain extent with the Eternals. You've got great directors doing great work with the MCU. I mean, Jon Favreau, right? But it was kind of an interesting thing. So, yeah. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Quentin Marvel would be weird. Yeah, really would. 90s Sci-Fi Channel TV movies did a good job capturing the feel of the books, but effects were weak then. And see, James, that's part of the reason why, it's the same reason why I can't get into Doctor Who. The storytelling and the actual stories might be fantastic. The acting may be great, but the effects are so bad that I just can't get on board with it. I just can't. And it's part of the reason why I never watched those Dune movies is because I knew that the effects were weak. But I still kind of want to see them because I'm actually, I couldn't stand the David Lynch movie. 1984, couldn't stand it. In fact, fell asleep multiple times trying to get through it. But I really enjoyed Denis' take on it. So I would be interested to see how those, because I hear that miniseries is really good. The problem is they haven't really made it very easy to stream, and I don't necessarily want to buy a whole set of them without knowing if it's any good. You know what I mean? And Ninjutsu, yeah, you can see what he's saying. X-Men, but set in a slave trade and everyone says the N-word. Yeah. 16-bit Pete. Just watched the Game Chasers movie for the second time last night. It was a lot better on my 4K TV than that projector screen in Houston, right? I'm glad. I'm glad. I hope you liked it. And I hope you liked my cameos. It's good to see you, Pete. And we missed you at Retropalooza this year. It was so insane. So insane. Number one, everyone has a price. Number two, it has to be something that fits Quentin's style. I can see him writing and directing Lobo. Well, see, that's DC. And as we've shown in the past, DC has a little more leeway with that. Now, that could be different going forward with James Gunn and Peter Safran, right? Those two guys might be like, okay, you guys are all over the place. We're going to start funneling into a single unified vision. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. Tarantino doing a Luke Cage movie would be great. Yeah. Absolutely. Preferred Red Dwarf over Doctor Who. Never seen Red Dwarf either. I'm an old school Doctor Who fan. The acting isn't great. Oh, see, I don't know. Like, I mean, I tried to watch the British actor, not David Tennant. Christopher? Having a trouble coming up with a name. A recent Doctor. And tried to watch it and couldn't get over the bad effects. The TV level effects. I couldn't do it. And I saw Eccleston. Yeah. That's his. Yeah. Oh crap. I can't do that. Is it Christopher Eccleston? Christopher Samsonite? It is Christopher Eccleston, right? Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Who I think is a fantastic actor. Love this guy. Shallow Grave was the first movie I ever saw with him. Great. And 28 Days Later, oh. And did you hear about that? I didn't even put that on the list. Totally forgot about it till just now. Danny Boyle has said that he wants to do a 28 Months Later. So a sequel. And I love those movies. Those movies are really, really good. For zombie movies, they're good. Ralph Quattrucci just subscribed. Welcome, Ralph. I'm not sure if you're here. If you are, thank you. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you. Bucho, you're damn Bucho with his oh sorry. Bucho. Yeah. Those are worlds better than old Who effects. Yeah, and oh yeah, main bad guy in Gone in 60 Seconds. Totally forgot about that. You like Days? Oh, the day oh, you like the Days movie but not Weeks? A new 28 movie could be awesome. I love the first two. Yeah. Yeah. And the only thing that love the 28 movies. Thank you, James, for that $2 donation that's coming through real soon. Real soon. Real soon. Come on. And go. And go. No? It's pretty delayed. But yeah, Danny Boyle said that he wants to revisit it. I'm excited for that. So let's get into a little bit. We're almost done. We're almost done. I don't know why it's not coming up. I really don't understand. I don't understand why it's not coming up. That's so weird. Well, it doesn't even show up in my Streamlabs. No worries, but well, sorry. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's busted. Yeah, my Streamlabs might be messed up. But see, I see Ralph Quattrucci in here.
Love the 28 movies.
There you go. Thank you. And thank you for not putting a bunch of emotes at the end. Like Leon always trying to get me in trouble. Quentin is a guy who does things his way. Marvel will put all types of restrictions on him. Yeah, and it's not that. I don't think it's the fact that it'd be so many restrictions. It would just be like, hey, we really need you to set up. We need you to set up this movie. So this scene needs to be in here. Kind of when the script is being written. And Quentin's not gonna do that. I kind of always thought it was a setup for a sequel the way Weeks ended with the immune kid goes to France. Yeah. 28 days later is in your top 28 zombie movies. I mean, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. But let's talk some Disney news. In fact, I'm 50. I don't know how to do that. I'm a Luddite. Yeah, I don't know why. It was super delayed through Streamlabs. I'm not sure why. So I apologize for that. But let's talk some Disney. In fact, let's talk some Lucasfilm. Did you see that they have announced the cast for The Acolyte? So The Acolyte, if you don't remember, back when what was that called? The Disney. It was like 2 years ago now. They announced this show. And the Investor Day, I think is what it was called. And it was amazing. There was so many, they announced so much stuff. It was like, holy crap, that video was long, I think. Because I did a video recapping it. It was insane. But The Acolyte is a story that's based around the Sith, right? That's all we know. And it sounds awesome. But now it says, well, here's the cast. Let's just get to that. Here's the cast. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't know a lot of these people. I know Carrie-Anne Moss, though. I'm pretty sure, isn't Lee Jung-jae, wasn't he in Squid Game? I'm not sure. Let me look. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Disney canceled series date. What? Oh, yeah. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But here's the funny thing. So here's some behind the scenes. I mean, I'm guessing they're just doing some stuff. But here's the interesting thing. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. A former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. Here's the thing. I thought the Acolyte was about like a Sith and their apprentice or something, which might have been Darth Plagueis or whatever. I don't know. So it's interesting that this is still from the I guess from the POV of the Jedi. Still, it's in the High Republic era, 200 years supposedly around before the Phantom Menace. It's going to be interesting. So there you go. But there's your cast. Of course, Lee Jung Jae there. There you go. There's your cast. Could be awesome. Could be terrible. Hopefully, it's a little bit in the same vein as Andor, because Andor is fantastic. And from what I hear, they're using practical sets and a little bit of the volume. Now, I like this because practical to me is probably, at least so far, has always been preferable. But of course, we had the Batman that used volume-like technology to great effect, and House of the Dragon has also used the volume to tell its story. So, along with practical. So, I think that it's just like any tool to tell a movie, whether it's special effects, visual effects, or something like the volume, you always have to use the right tool for the job. And I think Andor has done a really good job of just basically saying, we're going to shoot on location. And yeah, we're going to have some sets and things that we're going to have to build, but yeah, it's really going to pay off. And I think it really looks great in Andor. And of course the Batman, I didn't even know that it was shot with the volume. I didn't know. House of the Dragon, it's kind of obvious in some scenes. Just the way that things are shot and the way that, you kind of expect a wide shot and it's this really pulled in shot, and then people come in from either side and you're kind of like, and then when I heard it was shot in the volume, or I don't know if it was actually shot in the volume or if it was shot in kind of a Warner Brothers sort of idea of the volume, it was kind of like, yeah, it's kind of obvious. But there you go. Can they only find that place using a weirdly specific compass, though? How did all of these people get there in the first place? Luddite was the term for anti-technology Brits during the Industrial Revolution. I'm so confused by those comments. But Leon said, I do think the Sith are the most interesting part of Star Wars. Right. And it's the one thing where I'm like, why can't we have a Sith-centric story? Why not? Let's see things from their point of view. Oh, no, James, I know that but for some reason I was trying to make Leon's comment like they work together, and I don't think so. But I totally get you that yeah, it's a thing. And look, the sub stuff works from time to time, but for some reason on YouTube, it's very delayed. I don't know why. Twitch, it was like as soon as I saw it, it was like bam, it would come up. It was a very quick turnaround. Here, it's not. I don't know why. But anyway, if you could visit one movie set from the past, which would it be? Man, that's really tough. See, I think some of the big, crazy stuff that was shot on location, like something in Lawrence of Arabia, or even Ben-Hur. It's not the Colosseum, right? It's like But I mean, that would be amazing. The Shire is great. It's a great example. Um, God, Bridge on the River Kwai. Um, Anything Star Wars. I mean, I'm kind of simple that way. Of course, the Shire would be amazing. I'd like to, uh, from what I hear, the I guess it's the Universal lot. They've gotten rid of that street where, you know, you had stuff from Gremlins and Back to the Future filmed there. I would have liked to have been able to stand on that street, you know, and look around and go, oh my God, that's the thing. You know, that'd be cool too. Indiana Jones or T2. I mean, it's so hard. Movies set from the past, Forbidden Planet or The Horror of Dracula, The Thing, The Abyss. You see, a lot of The Abyss was shot in that tank though, right? So I don't know about that one, for at least for me. Because I mean, I was thinking, of course, you know, the Millennium Falcon, you know, sitting in Docking Bay 94 on Tatooine, but I don't know. If you ever come to the UK, you'll have to go to Elstree Studios where you can say they shot Star Wars in this shithole. Yeah, I mean, but what's funny is that like in Tunisia, a lot of the structures are still there, which is kind of neat. You've never seen the making of The Abyss? Oh my God, you got to watch that. Like The Abyss is a good film, but the making of that film is notorious because of how crazy James Cameron can be and how demanding James Cameron can be. If you the scene where they have to basically spoiler alert for The Abyss, but they bring Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio back. It was so intense that she walked off set. And if you look at the way that scene is shot, there are shots from, of course, like overhead, but a lot of the shots toward the end, especially when Ed Harris is really into it, it's shot from her point of view up. So you don't even see Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio is not in the shot. And it's because she walked off set. And Ed Harris said that it was, he's very, very hard to work with. Sigourney Weaver has said repeatedly that he's hard to work, he's very challenging. But she still loves what he brings out of her, which is why she continues to work with him, especially on Avatar. She came back for Avatar: The Way of Water. Even though, spoiler alert, she died, she plays their daughter, which is really interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But anyway, James Cameron is a difficult director. He expects perfection and that he can be extremely demanding. The Abyss is an amazing documentary. If you can, oh my God, if you can find that maybe on YouTube or something, it's great. Best part of the Laserdisc was the making of, yes. And see, I have the 2-disc DVD set, which has that documentary on it, and it is badass. It's really good. I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, it's great. Aliens, of course, that's my number one set visit. Be good. I've been to Tunisia. They have daily excursions out to those sets and charge a fair whack. I'm sure they do. Lost in Space, I would just love to be in one of those space studios. I mean, all of that stuff. I mean, it was really cool driving past the dinosaurs from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You know what I mean? Just anything movie related, I dig. So, yeah. Okay, let's move on. We've only got a couple more things left, and then it's time for me to go. Yeah, this weekend is going to be insane. I've got a lot of things to prepare, including a double review tomorrow. So, let's move on for a second here. Sean Levy in talks to direct a Star Wars film after Deadpool 3 and Stranger Things final episodes. This came out today. And it's kind of like, okay. I mean, you have the news that Damon Lindelof is writing a Star Wars movie. I mean, I like Damon Lindelof. I know a lot of people don't, but I like Damon Lindelof. And now you have this one. We're no closer to any of these Star Wars movies coming to fruition. Excuse me. Of course, we have supposedly still out there Rian Johnson's trilogy. You've got Rogue Squadron that has been indefinitely delayed. Maybe never work. We might never see that one. They spent serious money too, doing that little Patty Jenkins thing on the tarmac, with the X-Wing and her getting into the flight suit. They spent some money on that. And now it's no telling. And of course, we've got Taika Waititi's supposedly, they said that was coming out in 2023. That thing hadn't even been written yet. So who knows what Star Wars movie will be first? Don't know. But here's another one. So it's kind of one of those things where at this point, I mean, Sean Levy, he did Deadpool 2 and 3, right? I mean, okay. Who knows, though? Who knows? Why have they never asked Spielberg to direct a Star Wars movie? He actually directed a little bit of a Star Wars movie. I can't remember which one it was, but I think he was on set and he shot like a couple of scenes, or he directed a couple of scenes. I'm not sure about that, but I think that's what I heard. Because of course Spielberg and Lucas have been great friends for 40 plus years. It would be really interesting to see, but again, that's another situation now, especially now, where I just don't think he has it. I'm not saying he doesn't have it in him. I think he doesn't have the interest. And I think it's part of it is because Star Wars was Lucas's baby, right? And as long as Lucas was in charge, he didn't want to, he didn't want to have to work like that. Now that it's under Disney, it's probably the same thing as the way Quentin looks at Marvel. That he'll never direct a Marvel movie because he'd be too restrained. And he wouldn't want to work like that. I can understand that, I mean, talk about best case scenario, episode 9. Think about episode 9. Instead of going to J.J. Abrams, they went to Steven Spielberg and dropped a ton of cash on his doorstep. I mean, I feel like he could have made not only a better movie, but he would have demanded that it worked off the previous 2 movies. I mean, what an amazing idea, but that didn't happen. Going to see Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan at my local oh my gosh. Going to see Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan at my local small movie house, the Colonial Theater, Sunday. That is awesome. I really, really enjoy watching older movies on the big screen again. When we missed out on Labyrinth, we missed out on The Princess Bride. We went and saw one of them. I can't remember which movie we saw, but it was like, it's fantastic. So yeah, I would have loved it. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Seeing it on the big screen is where it's meant to be seen. I love it. You should come back and let us know how it went, because I think that's amazing. The theater, to me, like I've said it many times, it's my church. It's my place of worship. I love the movies, and I have loved the movies ever since I was very, very tiny. So yeah, I mean, I saw all the Star Wars movies, all of them. I've seen all of them in a theater. So yeah. Wilco. Oh, gotcha. Will do. Cool. Do it. Now, for the final news item of the day, and to close out the night, we have this information. I'll be honest with you. I thought that this might be something that would happen. But what? Like, okay, so if you don't know, Harrison Ford said that Indiana Jones 5 is definitely his final Indiana Jones movie. I mean, he's 80 plus, right? Is he 81 now? I don't know how old he is, but he's 80 plus. He's over 80 years old. It's time. This movie is coming out in July. The idea that they could do an Indiana Jones series with a new actor. I mean, look, you can do a lot of good stuff with Indiana Jones as long as you're not tied to Harrison Ford. But it's also the same reason why Solo didn't do well. Right? A lot of people could not look past. Oh, crap. Hold on a second. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about this. I just don't know. I want it to be good, of course, right? That's my thing. I always want things to be good. But the Young Indiana Jones series was, I mean, it was fine, but it was also kind of like one of those things where you're like, yeah, but it could be better. And I feel like with the right person helming it, with the right actors, it could be good. It could be really, really good. But it's also really scary. Because, man, Indiana Jones is just like, to me, I mean, who do you think Harrison Ford is better known for? Han Solo or Indiana Jones? I would say Indiana Jones. I love Han Solo. But I think Indiana Jones is probably more recognized than Han Solo is. So, I don't know. They need a new actor for Indy. Matt Davis looks just like a young Harrison. Who is Matt Davis? Let's look him up, shall we? I mean, yeah. I mean, that he definitely, can I do the other pictures? Like other pictures of him. Okay, those are ads. Other pictures of him, please. That's him on the right. I mean, he really does. I mean, look, the fact is, here's the thing. Close enough. See, to me, I am going to be the first one to admit that Alden Ehrenreich doesn't really look like Harrison Ford, like at all. But to me, holy crap, did he exude the same Han Solo energy. And that's the thing that I wanted more than anything. And that guy's a star. And it sucks that Solo did so. And that's part of the reason why I don't like it when people get so negative about, say, The Last Jedi, is because that negativity bled over onto Solo for no reason. For no reason at all. Solo is it the best Star Wars movie? No, but it was fine. It was better than fine. It was better than it had any right to be with all the problems that it had. And part of the collateral damage of this movie not breaking even and not making $1 billion like the other Disney Star Wars movies is that Alden Ehrenreich's career now is in the tubes. And that sucks. It pisses me off because Alden Ehrenreich is amazing, in my opinion. Not just in Solo, but in everything I've seen him in. He's been great. And it sucks that his career hasn't been doing well because of that. And that just sucks. So it's one of those things where nobody thinks about that. You know, these people that go off on these hate tirades. Talking about a lot of YouTubers out there, just saying, they go off on these hate tirades about these actors. Oh, he doesn't look anything like him. They should have gotten the guy that did the impersonations on YouTube. Oh, they should have gotten this guy. Oh, they should have gotten this guy. You don't understand the collateral damage of what's going on here. And that you can ruin someone's career through no fault of their own. They took on a role and did absolutely a fantastic job with what he had to deal with. Amazing job. And now his career's in the tubes because a lot of people didn't go see Solo. Now, is that, you might say, well, I didn't know that. And I'm saying, come on, man. Am I sounding like Melvor? Because I think Melvor hates Solo. Melvor is one of those people that, and this is one of those areas where Melvor and I disagree. That, you know, you say, oh, I'm not going to watch the next movie. I don't understand how making Star Wars not popular because you didn't like something is somehow going to give you what you want. Doesn't make sense to me. Melvor would rather watch Solo than Short Circuit 2. Oh, I did a good Melvor impression. I got you. Look, I don't think that guy, I mean, who knows? Okay? In a different universe, the guy that Melvor likes wanted for Solo, in a different universe where he got the part, could have been amazing. But that's not why Solo failed. Because Solo failed because of a lot of reasons. But a lot of the reasons are because people were mad at The Last Jedi. And to me, that's a dumb reason to not watch a movie. Like, oh, I didn't like, I don't know. It just doesn't, I'm a fan of this, so I'm not going to watch it. I don't understand. I don't get it. To me, Solo didn't deserve the hate that it got. And it definitely didn't deserve to torpedo Alden Ehrenreich's career. I mean, if I had of course, things would have been a lot different if I was working at Lucasfilm and I had power, you know? I mean, I would have been like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're telling me you've got 3 different directors making 7, 8, and 9, and none of them are talking to each other? They're just doing their own thing? What are you, crazy? I mean, I would have been that guy. But still, I still feel like episode 9 is where you could have landed it. And I feel like Colin Trevorrow's script had a better chance of being... See, why do I always get on these Star Wars rants? I don't know why. I don't know. Oh, because we're talking about Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones. Okay. All I'm saying is there's a lot of things that they could have done better. And hopefully they've learned their lessons. I'm hoping that it's the reason no one is watching Andor. They are made at Disney for Boba Fett and Obi-Wan. And that sucks. If people are not watching it because they didn't like those, that's a stupid reason to not watch something. You should watch it and support the things that are good and don't support the things that are bad. That's the way it works. You know? In fact, if you like something, say, I don't know, if you liked Andor, if you really liked it, you could watch it more than once. Because that's showing that, hey, people are watching it over and over. It just irritates me. The thinking, it just doesn't connect. Harrison Ford is always Dr. Richard Kimball to me. I mean, sure. I don't know. He had the swagger. Yeah. I mean, he didn't look anything like him, but by the end of it, I totally bought him as the character. And I don't know. It irritates me when and I mean it irritates me that oh god, what's the kid's name? Anakin in episode 1. The kid in episode 1 was ridiculed publicly. There were like reviewers for major trades, talking about how Jake Lloyd. They were talking about how bad Jake Lloyd was. And basically ruined that kid's life. And he's had all kinds of issues throughout his life. Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks, has had those problems. And it's like, and then of course we have Rose. And I just blanked on her name too. Kelly Marie Tran. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that you would go after an actor for something that they were paid to read, to say the lines that someone else wrote. I mean, at least, as far as I'm concerned, Rian Johnson, if you didn't like The Last Jedi, you go to Rian Johnson. But still, the kind of crap that people were writing to him, I love the fact that Ryan was like, you guys are insane. You guys need to go outside, have a fruit cup, take a walk, maybe find a dog, and play with the dog for a while. You need some time to decompress because you're insane. I hated this guy. This guy knows that I hated Michael Bay's Transformers movie. But did I go on Michael Bay's Twitter and freaking yell at him? No. Do I think the guy deserves to never work again? No. I don't understand the thought process that would make someone do that. But anyway. Basically what I'm trying to say is I hope they find a good actor to play Indiana Jones. No death threats to Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, all of that stuff. You think? I mean, I don't know. I don't understand that thought process. You kind of like the first Transformers movie? Yeah, oh man. I guess it irritates me because, and I know Bucho will, if he's here, he'll bring up Jaws. That Jaws should have been the star of the movie. But the movie's called Transformers. And the Transformers are side characters. They should have just called it A Boy in His Car. It's because it's basically what, Spielberg was talking about it. He said Spielberg was the executive producer, right? He said that you really gotta focus the story on the boy. Because that's what people relate to. I'm like, yeah, but that story sucks. And we've seen it before. It's kind of like, I don't know, focusing on all the employees instead of Blockbuster. I'm just trying to say, there's a way to bring in the Transformers and have the Transformers do things that are cool and all that stuff, and then be the focus of the story. Storytelling should be focused on the story, on the Transformers. No, on the people. And then the same way, we've talked about all that. You didn't like it when they set Shia LaBeouf as the new Indy? No, I thought it was fine. In fact, I think Shia LaBeouf at the time was that rising star that I was all on board. I loved him in Holes. That movie's great. If you haven't seen Holes, you should see it. That is a really, really good movie. And he is a star. Shia LaBeouf is a great actor. I totally think it could be he could go on and do that stuff. The problem is they kind of screwed up his introduction. There's a lot of things they kind of screwed up there. The swinging and the monkeys and that movie was bad. The movie was just not good. But I'd be fine. I'd be fine with another actor taking it over. The problem is, some people are like, well, that's not. First off, I don't understand what you said. Secondly, I don't know. I just saw the actual replay of me doing that movement, and it made me laugh. I don't know. Anyone who ever abused a Star Wars actor on social media should be thrown into the Sarlacc after being blasted with Sith lightning and after being kicked in the bollocks. There, I said it. Bucho, you and I agree on that. Don't go after actors. Don't go after actors. And just like, I even feel sorry for J.J. Abrams for episode 9. I do. The one that I don't like is Chris Terrio, because he was sitting there and trying to act all superior about how, oh my gosh, I put all this thought into the script and how badly it was, and just how, oh my gosh, I hate the way that script is. It's just bad. There's so many problems. Anyway, it wasn't just the focus on the boy, it was the fact Shia's parents and most humans in the movie were completely annoying and unlikable. Yes. Disturbia. He is nutty, but a great actor. How many different Jack Ryans have we had? Or James Bonds? It's okay to hire a younger guy. And that's what Indiana Jones is, right? George Lucas even said the whole reason that the Raiders of the Lost Ark even happened is because Steven Spielberg was talking to George Lucas and saying, I really want to make a James Bond movie. And he goes, I got something even better. It's called Indiana Jones. And they worked together for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Amazing. Why not? It's just weird. Indiana Jones is kind of, and then what do they do in the third movie? They literally hire James Bond to be the father of Indiana Jones. Sean Connery, right? Wasn't he named after the dog? Well, yeah. Indiana was George Lucas's dog's name. And the dog was also he used to sit in the passenger seat of his car, and he was basically the co-pilot. So he was also the inspiration for Chewbacca. So yeah, a lot of those things, which is kind of interesting stuff. Anyway, you know what? It's time to go, guys. My throat is getting parched. I need some more water. Thank you. And we had a great show. I feel actually a lot better. See, it's funny how I was just like all day going, man, I don't know if I can do the show. Now the show's over and I feel awesome. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for the support. You know that I just super appreciate that. You know, I super appreciate that. It's great that you guys are here. Thank you for the voting, because holy crap, this is good. Can't wait to have more of that. But thank you so much. And for those of you who are going to make it out to Really Rad Weekend, we'll see you there Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow I can do this dermatologist thing and then come home and watch Andor and put out a review. That'll be great. So guys, thank you again for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for thank you for subscribing. All of those things. Just thank you for the support. It's awesome. And y'all have a great week. And we'll see you next time. Bye. No, I'm not doing another 5 hours, Bucho. But thank you. Thanks, guys.